We are going live with a new episode of Real Ranked. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Real Ranked. Today we will be talking about video game movies with the release of Sonic 2. So we will be doing a tier list today. And first off, I will bring in our panelists with Ashwin.
Hello.
We got Albert.
Hey, sorry, I'm just playing a game.
Wow. All right, and we got another person who will be joining us in a bit. But I will go ahead and bring up our tier list. We got a lot of movies to talk about, but some of these only one person has seen. Some of them all of us have seen. So we'll see which ones are which. Where are you guys?
S tier.
We all know video game movies have are usually S tier movies, right? So
100%.
Yeah, Colin. Let's go.
Yeah, that's like Let's Go Pikachu, the video game. I understood the reference, Colin. Good job.
True.
And then and our final panelist for today is Andrew Just.
He's here. He got food.
All right.
Wow.
Nice.
Very fast, almost like a certain other video game character.
Gotta go fast.
Mario?
Yeah, that's one.
No, actually, it's the
He's a
Angry
quick-
Bird. So let's just start with the first Angry Birds movie because instead of like going backwards and with the second, we can start with the first one. And I'll say that I think it's a good kids movie, but it's not really good for adults. Like I think like maybe there's like one joke that I laughed at, but like it's I think it does a pretty good job of adapting from the video game with with the pigs, but it's just like it's a kids movie. It doesn't really work that well. There's some great voice acting though. Jason Sudeikis is pretty solid, but Josh Gad is kind of bad. So, yeah.
So I've also seen this movie. I remember the one joke that I thought was actually funny because it like shocked me in that I actually laughed. It was like the big bomb bird. They cut to him and then it's just silent and they're talking about like some atrocity he committed in his past, but they just allude to it. And it was like genuinely, it cracked me up. But yeah, other than that, very boring movie. I will say as a kid, I feel like this might be true of all of us. I played these games a lot. And in the first game, at least, they had like little shorts in the app that you could watch. And I used to watch those all the time instead of like doing homework. And those shorts were actually kind of funny. And I think what the movie sort of missed out on is the Angry Birds and the pigs are a lot more funny when they don't talk, kind of like the Lego characters, when they kind of make just squawking noises and it's all slapstick. Obviously, you can't really make a movie around that, but I think it could have made a good show. So kind of a missed opportunity there, in my opinion.
Where do you want to put this on the tier list?
It's not terrible, right? Like,
no, it's not. It's like it's inoffensive, but it's like it's so
it's hard because I don't know. I don't have a good sense of where the S is at right now. So like,
that's true.
This might end up being like B or even A tier at the end of the day. I don't know.
I kind of want to just put this in C tier, like we're just right in the middle for now, and then we'll see how this tier list maps out.
I agree.
I think it's worth pointing out this is a tier list that includes Doom and hypothetically any of UA Bulls movies, etc. So I think relatively.
Yeah, we need more room at the top, so we'll probably put it in.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I had to Google UA Ball as I was a jeweler. He sounds familiar.
He makes movies for tax credits in Germany.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, let's put this in C tier. Actually, well, we'll get to it because I think I'm the only person who has seen the Angry Birds movie 2, and I think it's better than the first one because like I think it takes some of the ideas from video games and like does it a lot better than the first one. It's also just like more interesting. I think the addition of a new villain is okay. It's fine. I don't think it's like does anything interesting, but like the first one is yeah.
What kind of new villain do they introduce in an Angry Birds movie?
I'm trying to remember. It's they're voiced by Tiffany Haddish. I'm pretty sure.
Is it
It's-
also still a
it's-
pig, or is it?
No, it's
Not
one of
pig.
the
So,
eagles,
like, the
right?
pig
I like
at
kind
the
of remember this.
At the end, like the pig and like the birds, they kind of like form a. They
Team up?
kind of team up, I guess.
That's so funny, dude. Angry
Yeah.
Birds team up.
Yeah, dude.
Yo.
Angry Birds Cinematic Universe. Let's go.
That moment when you team up with the people who are planning to steal and eat your children.
When we get in the Green Pigs movie,
But yeah, like they're the birds. So
Gotcha.
yeah, and then there's the new eagle who is voiced by. I'm blanking on his name right now. He's Tyrion Lannister. I think that's who it is. Right?
Dinklage.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dinklage is the eagle. He's like this. He's supposed to be like this grand hero, and then they like go find him, and he's like very washed up. It's like that kind of character, you know.
that sounds cool.
Yeah. It's. I think it's better than the first one solely just because I feel like actually no, I don't know. It's hard to say because then they also include like dabbing and like a lot of pop culture references.
Dabbing birds.
Bro,
Whoa.
I think you tried to get me to watch this once.
Did I? Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, I,
it was like
still have-
Jason
I
Sudeikis or
gave them
something.
both the same rating, so it's just like they're. I think the addition of Rachel Bloom and like Leslie Jones are like they do a pretty good job. I think.
I like Rachel Bloom.
The cast is insane.
Yeah, the cast is insane. Jojo Siwa is in this. David Dobrik, Mason Ramsey.
Padilla,
You know,
Colin Bollinger.
yeah, it's crazy, but like, yeah, the humor isn't like that funny too. It's just like there's maybe a cute gag, but like, yeah, for the most part, I'd say I'll put it in C tier. Just because it's the same tier as the Angry Birds movie. If we decide to drop it, we'll drop them both down together.
Mhm.
So we'll move on to Assassin's Creed.
So I don't know if anyone else has seen this. Am I the only one?
I haven't. I
I-
very intentionally avoided it.
I've seen clips.
Okay, so like just from right off the bat, like why would you make an Assassin's Creed movie? The lore of the games is so stupid and incomprehensible. Not only is it too complicated, it's also when you
True.
understand it, you realize how dumb it is. And so like I don't know what they were hoping for. And even despite that, I think this movie is worse than it could have been, which is actually impressive. It's kind of a testament to the movie that I like don't remember how they actually implement the Assassin's Creed lore to an extent, you know. I know they have like the various doohickeys that, you know, the assassins and the Templars are looking for. It's just like a mind-numbingly boring movie. Yeah, I would definitely put it below the Angry Birds movies because like at least I remember the first one, you know, I can like picture scenes from it in my mind. Like the Assassin's Creed movie, it's like the day after it, I just forgot everything about it. Like, but like in a very surgical way, you know, it's like impressively bad
Yeah.
or impressively boring, I guess.
Dude, it's so funny. This is a little bit off topic, and I apologize, and we'll have to cut these eventually. Kristen Bell plays a character in the games, and she
Oh,
tried to like explain the lore once, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, she got it totally wrong," and I was like, "Yeah, dude, it sucks." I love these games, but like, who understands the lore completely? Like, it's so dumb.
Yeah. Like I don't know why they need to have this big overarching story about like a multi-generational conspiracy and magical artifacts. Like why not just make them games about assassins. I don't know. That's not a very unique opinion, but I don't think it's that
It kind
crazy
of made
either.
sense for like 1 and 2, I think, but by the time they hit like 3 and it started to suck, I was like, okay, well, cool.
Mhm. But yeah, terrible movie. Like I said, they somehow implemented the lore. They you can't implement all of the deep lore of the games, but they implemented it in a way such that it would make absolutely no sense. So I would put this at least in D. And no, it's again, we're talking about video game movies here, so probably not F, but D is reasonable, I think.
All right. We'll go on to the next movie then, Blood Rain, which I believe, Ashwin, you are also the only person who has seen.
Of course.
I don't even know what this is.
Yeah,
UA Ball, dude. UA Ball.
I never even played the game. Yeah, I think this might be the only UA Bowl movie that we're doing. I think there was a sequel. I obviously never watched that because why would I? But this movie, I remember as a kid, I watched like some movie reviewer make a movie video about it, and I was like, oh, like this will be fun, right? It's fun to watch bad movies. It was not. Once again, like, there are movies that are bad and like entertainingly bad. This movie is just like, it's like generic fantasy to the max. The main character, she's like a vampire, and so that's like kind of cool, I guess. But even that is just, it's so underutilized. Basically, there's the woman. I don't even remember her name. I'm just going to call her Blood Rain. I think that might actually be her name. She's the vampire, and then there's a guy who's like a leader of the, like the humans. And I have to give that guy props because he's the most generic human being I've ever seen in my life. I could not tell you a single personality trait about him. He's like kind of heroic, He's got blonde hair, and he says stuff that you would expect him to say, and that's about it. Just absolutely terrible movie.
Where do you want to rank it then?
This is an easy F. I don't think there's any question about it.
All right.
Lovely. Our first F.
We'll move on.
I'm assuming we'll have
Yeah.
a lot of Fs and Ds, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. Next up, we'll talk about Detective Pikachu, and let's go ahead and let Albert start since you haven't seen the last few movies.
Yeah, Detective Pikachu. I'm gonna boldly say that this is probably one of the few ones that are on the better end of video game movies. I'm just gonna assume you guys agree with me. If I'm wrong, then you guys will correct me afterwards. But I think this is a good film. They did not follow the story very much. They took the idea of it and then told a new story, which is fine because it works for the context of the film. I think the boldness of them to make this live action, because we've never seen Pokemon. They've always been sprites or like in hand-drawn animation, and now we're seeing them with furs and everything. The fact that they are able to translate that and showcase some of the Pokemons and doesn't really alienate the existing fan base already, and still introduce a lot of new people to the series and everything. So I think they did a pretty good job with it. Nothing particularly outstanding for performances. I think Justice Smith is fine. I think Harry Newton is fine. Bill Nye is ridiculous. Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. It weirdly works. So yeah, I like the film.
I will say it's an accomplishment to not alienate the Pokemon fan base because they do that. Oh man. Game Freak is great at alienating the Pokemon fan base as they make all of the games that those people play singularly. I think Detective Pikachu is fine. I saw it in theaters. I thought that was a pretty good time, and I literally forgot that I had seen it after that until my brother was like, "Yeah, we went to see that together," and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." I did watch that movie. So, however much you can hold it against it. But I think I had a good time in the theater. Which having a good time in the theater at all puts it in a pretty high tier for video game movies. So, yeah.
All right. Ashwin?
I never got around to seeing this. I know some people who've seen it, but I've seen clips from it, so I couldn't strongly say. But my impression is that it's definitely one of the better video game movies. That seems reasonable.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I really liked it when I watched it in theaters too. You know, as a Pokemon fan, it's cool to see them in like a different style, and I think the movie did a good job of like putting them in live action and also just like with the world building and like made it look really lively. The city, there's like a lot going on just like in the background as well. And it's really cool to see. I think there's a lot of heart in the movie, but like the whole movie is very just like it's predictable, but like it is also like a kids movie, so like can't like give it that much hate for the story. And so yeah, I think this is definitely one of the better ones out there.
If I may add, one of the things that I think is smart for them, for like I don't know if they're gonna make a franchise out of this, but if so, the fact that they don't do an authentic like regular main series Pokemon game is smart because on paper Pokemon is just like animal abuse and animal fighting, and like the fact that they didn't really do that and they make it a
Yeah.
like a mystery movie kind of thing, and then I mean there are fights, but
Which
like,
they
they're
still
not,
did
like-
do. Yeah, they
Yeah.
had cage fights with Pokemon.
Yeah, but I think that's a better approach, especially to like showcase it for a wider audience. So yeah.
Yeah. Totally.
All right, where do you guys want to put this in the tier list?
Dude, I'm honestly, even after telling you I forgot that I had seen it, thinking about S tier. Just in comparison to other video game movies, I think I'm going to say A for now, though.
I would say either an A or an S. Yeah, again, I don't know how we're gonna scale the S and everything,
Mhm.
but if not, then an A, I think is.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Yeah,
I feel like we might end up with nothing in S, so we might have to move stuff up. But
okay.
at least
I think
an A,
we can
right?
put this in A, and then we'll see like how our S tier is, filling up with and
Yeah.
how we are scaling it. So,
I like
all right. All right, I'll move on to Doom. I think I'm the only person who has seen it.
I've seen bits and pieces. My mom has watched the entire movie like multiple times.
Okay.
Dude,
I'm gonna
your
be
mom
honest.
loves video game movies.
Yeah, I don't know why.
All
I
right,
don't really
Matthew,
remember
take it
anything
away.
about the plot. The one thing I remember is that when it goes into first person shooter mode, and I thought that was cool. And that was it.
I was
I
gonna
was
say,
like-
the only thing, like,
Yeah.
even in
I
Doom
don't know
itself,
what
the
game this
story
is.
doesn't really matter. It's like one of the first games ever, and then it's had like a good revival. It's one of the first like popular computer games, essentially. The only thing that matters is the action, even in the game itself. So I'm curious, do you remember any of that being good?
Yeah, the action's fine, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, like I said, I think the only thing that's cool about it
Promising.
is when it switches from like third person to first person. I think.
Sweet. Well, then go ahead.
Yeah, are we thinking like? So I think Angry Birds is like a good benchmark.
Yeah, that's
Um,
true. That's true. So I haven't seen Assassin's Creed, so I don't know how it would match up. And same
It
with
sound
Blood Rain.
bad.
If we're ordering
Did-
in the tiers, then I would. From what I've seen of the Doom movie, I think it's definitely better than the Assassin's Creed movie.
Okay, that's
Mm.
fair. Yeah, I think because like you have seen bits and pieces, I think that's fair to replace. All right. Well, we'll move on to the next movie, Free Guy. Andrew, did you watch this?
Yeah, it did. It was okay. I don't know, dude. It's just like parts of it do work, I think. The IP garbage was so annoying to me. I don't know. I like the fact that they felt they had to tie it. Plus, it felt like the whole time I was watching it, I was like, "Damn, Taika could have been doing something better with his time." Like, you guys know I really like Boy and like Hunt for the Motor People and everything, and so that was like kind of on my mind. Overall, I would say it's a fine movie, but I understand those who think a bit less of it, maybe. Yeah.
Ashman?
Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Andrew. When he pulled out the Thor's hammer, like from the Marvel movies, and then they cut to Chris Evans. He acts in the Marvel movies. And he was like, "Yeah, man, that was so insane." No, part of me wants to put this in F though I recognize that's not a logical thought.
Yeah, I know.
I actually hate this movie, but it's like it's fine, right? Like, I do think like some of the humor is okay, you know, and I agree that sequence where he's fighting the big version of himself, right, and he's pulling out like the lightsaber and the Hulk fist or whatever. It's like it just numbs the mind. I also think this is one of those movies, and I haven't seen the Adam Project, so I couldn't comment on that. But this is a movie where it's like 90% of the dialogue is, I feel like Ryan Reynolds wrote it himself, which, you know, fair enough, but it's getting a little tiresome for me at least.
Yeah, I think the bit works good in Deadpool, but outside of it, it's starting to wear.
Yeah. I don't know. This has to be worse than Detective Pikachu for sure, and definitely better than the Angry Birds movie. I just don't know. I think it should probably go in A, like, because at the end of the day, it's like a fine made movie. You know what I mean? It's just not funny, I think, which is kind of bad for a comedy. But
yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, yeah, I had fun with this one. I think Ryan Reynolds is a little bit tiring in the Adam Project, because I just watched that today. I'm just like, okay, yeah, maybe I'm starting to get the like Ryan Reynolds hate, but I think I have fun with his charming presence. I think he's fun, and I also think Jodie Comer is definitely the standout. Like, I hadn't seen her in anything else before, but now that I've seen her in this and then Killing Eve and The Last Duel, I'm just like, okay, yeah, Jodie Comer, she knows how to act.
Yeah, I really like Jodie Comer. I'll say that actually.
Yeah, and then I think I like how the movie delivers its concept, right? Like, I think even though it's like very inspired by GTA, I think it does a good job of world building and just like creating this world that, like, you know, he roams around in, and even the real world stuff I found myself engaged with. I think
yeah, that's fair. I'm not usually one to nitpick on like stuff like this, but the scene where like at the very end, Taika's character is like taking an axe to the servers, and like he like chops into one big server block, and then like a little piece of the city goes like, whoa. That was like that was egregious.
Yeah, just in terms of how any of that show works. Yeah,
is that how they store video game maps? You got a whole basement, and like that server farm over there is one building.
Yeah, it's not like they just store different instances of the servers.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I could see that. I also just remembered that Ninja was in this, which makes me want to put it out lower. So
Ninja is in that.
oh, the cameo.
I forgot about that.
Also, the guy from who Channing Tatum, and then his like his real life person.
Mm-hmm.
That guy is.
Wait, who's the actor who plays the real life version?
He's in Stranger Things, and then he was in I'm trying to remember the actor.
Oh yeah, I know who you're talking. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, okay. I just think it's fun to see him. He was also in a series of unfortunate events. I just enjoy seeing him on screen. All right,
okay, yeah, I've gotten way too much hate for liking this film as much as I did. I think it's a genuinely great film. It's in my top 15 of last year, and I saw like 79 films or something. So it's like it stacks up pretty well in my opinion. I'm just surprised by how good it was. It's super charming. And I thought it was funny. I don't know, you guys didn't think it was funny. I thought it was funny. I think the world building is brilliant, with everything within the game, outside the game. I don't get the Ryan Reynolds hate. I think his character is pretty balanced in terms of comedy and just heartfelt in this film. Jodie Comer's great. Joe Keery's great. Taika, I think his comical villain, I think works in a way for this film, just because it's like super self-aware and everything. And yeah, I think they Andrew knows live stream culture better than I do, but I thought the live stream culture is represented kind of well in this one.
Damn, you didn't have to insult Andrew like that.
I literally have a loving stream open right next to this one.
I mean, yeah, like you said, there's Ninja, there's Pokimane. I forget who else is in there.
Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I thought the cameo was cute and everything. Yeah, no, I just really liked it. I really enjoyed the film. I know I'm in the minority.
Hey, I don't want
Everyone,
to take that away from you.
it's fair.
I do,
Everyone,
actually.
everyone
I
who
would
I've
love to
talked,
take that away
everyone
from
who
you.
I've talked to is like, you're fucking nuts, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally sick of it by the amount of people who literally talk shit to me right in my face for like this film. Like I don't give a crap anymore.
I've never shit on you for it, Albert. I love you.
Yeah.
Oh no, there are some people out there who knows who
You wanna
you
call 'em out?
know who you are.
Yeah, you want to call him out?
Huh?
We already called him out before in other episodes, so if you want to call him out, go for it.
No, you know who you are. Yeah, I'm expecting an apology. No, I'm just kidding.
Free Guy fans are some of the most oppressed people on the planet.
Oh my god.
I would put this in A tier.
I'd go.
I think at the end of the day, if we average all our opinions, it's going to come out to A tier, right?
I'm going B here.
And then Albert's going to say S, right?
Right.
Yeah, because I have it at 4.5 star on Letterboxd, and I don't think any of maybe there's one other film that's like 4.5, but yeah, so I would put it in S.
What? You don't.
I have another film on here that's 4.5.
Maybe I do. I don't remember the full
on
list. I don't
here.
remember the full
I
list.
thought
So
you
yeah.
meant you have 2 4.5-star movies and one of them is Free Guy.
No. I mean,
And I was like, what the hell, dude? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm B. I'm B here because like I'm gonna put Uncharted today, and Uncharted is a much better movie than this.
Mm.
It's a pretty compelling point, actually. Even though I haven't seen Uncharted.
Right.
I think we should just put this in A and maybe come back to it. Like,
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
I'm fine with bottom A. I'm not.
You can do that.
You know.
That's fair.
Definitely
This is probably gonna the most divisive film
yeah.
of the panel. Maybe.
Yeah, I think most of these we're gonna agree on.
Yeah. All right. Well, then we'll go to Hitman next.
This is the older Hitman movie, right?
Oh, this is probably just me. No, this is the newer one.
This is the new
Oh.
one.
This is the Rupert Wyatt one. The Timothy Olyphant one I have not seen.
Oh, so okay. I think I just messed
Did I
up.
put the wrong one?
Isn't there a Hitman 47 or something?
Did I put the wrong one? Because like this is the one with.
Oh
Timothy
yeah, that is the Olyphant one. Yeah, you put the wrong one. For me at least. I mean, if Ashman's already seen this one, then
Okay.
I haven't seen the old one. I have seen the new one though. Like Hitman
Okay,
Agent
yeah.
47.
Okay. Then I think I put the wrong one. This can just be our. Yeah. This we'll just say that this is Agent 47.
what about our credibility, Matthew? What if sometime in the future somebody's trying to hire me for a job and they see this tier list and they think, wait a second, I would get it if the 2015 Hitman film ranked here, but I don't know about the Timothy Olyphant one.
I mean, I don't know. I not to give anything away, but I don't know how highly you're going to rate this one, Andrew. I don't think any employer is going to lambast you for
Yeah,
where we
that's
end
fair.
up putting this.
Okay, well, I'll start us off by saying, funnily enough, I watched this one on a live stream. Somebody was just watching Hitman on live
Wow.
on a live stream, and I was like, okay, I'll watch this, which made it a lot more fun, admittedly. I imagine I enjoyed it more than I would have on my own. In terms of adaptation, though, it sucks. Like, dude, like, the whole point of Hitman is like disguises and like being stealthy and like making cool ways to kill people. And in that movie, he just like shoots everybody in gunfights every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And they're not even like good gunfights. I don't know. Yeah, this one's not good.
Yeah, I've played one Hitman game, like whichever the first one for like the Xbox was. I don't know.
Wow.
one of the
Like
newer
Blood
ones.
Money. Yeah.
No, not the older ones. Like I think the
Oh,
game
like-
is just called Hitman.
Oh,
when
the
they
newest one
rebooted
then.
the franchise.
Yeah, that one's sick.
Yeah, it's fun, and again, like it's like a really cheesy game concept, right? You like
Oh yeah.
go into the kitchen, knock out a chef, put on the chef hat, and everyone's like, ah, yes.
You're the chef. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a thing in the first level that I distinctly remember where like you're at this party or this gala, and then it just so happens that there's like a modern artist coming to the gala who looks exactly like Agent 47.
Yeah.
So you can knock him out and
that's
impersonate him.
the 2014 game, I think, or 15.
Yeah.
I don't know about it really safe, but yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. And so it's like this feels like a game I don't think should be made into a movie, much less two, apparently.
But especially not a self-serious movie. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Like the games themselves acknowledge how ridiculous everything is.
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's weird to me that the movie was like, we're gonna make a romance out of this, a romantic gunfight movie, which sounds cool, but
again, like I don't know why. When I played the Hitman game, I'm pretty sure I skipped all the cutscenes because, like, what even is the lore? It's just like you're part of an agency and they send you to kill people.
Yeah, I've played every single Hitman game, so I'm like a big fan. But yeah.
Not to disparage the Hitman lore, then.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. I think it deserves its proper respect. Yeah, I mean, ultimately though, I'd still go like somewhere between C and D for me.
Yeah. Do you think this is better than Doom? Well, not that I could say.
Neither of us have seen Doom, so that's a tough thing to lay down.
Yeah,
but I would guess yes, based on anything I've heard about Doom and the fact that the only thing that Matthew remembers from it is that it goes into first person.
Yeah, I think this is reasonable. It's like a low C, right? Because again, it's like a. If it wasn't a Hitman movie,
relatively, yeah.
If it didn't have the Hitman name on it, it would just kind of be like, okay, this is an action movie. I wouldn't really think about it too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you want to put it above or below the Angry Birds movies?
Oh, I think below for sure. If it's going C, it should be below, I think.
Okay, cool.
I think it's like top of D or bottom of C.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's move on then to Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, and I can I'll start with this one and say it's a really fun time. I think the cast is great. I think Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson they have good chemistry together. Jack Black he's great in this playing Bethany. He's playing a girl and it's fun. Karen Gillan also having a fun time. I think there's the adventure that they go through and like the journey it's a lot of fun. There's not a lot more to say about this movie because it's just like it's a fun time. It's a fun adventure kind of movie. So
yeah. Oh, sorry. Albert first.
No, I really like this film. I think this film is creative and it reinvent the Jumanji. It's not a genre, but like the Jumanji concept. Because it was like based on a board game and bringing the board game to reality, and now this is the opposite of bringing reality to the game itself, turning it to a video game, turning it to the avatar concept, the body swapping concept, and I think they did it well. The adventure part itself, I think, is done really well and enjoyable. Probably better than Uncharted. No offense, Andrew. But I thought no, I thought the adventure was a lot of fun. It's goofy. It's still comical. Kevin Hart's weakness is cake. I still remember that. It's funny as fuck. And yeah, the whole action is great as well. And just the dynamic, again, of both versions of the character, the Avatar version and the teenager version. I think it just works well as a whole of the film. Yeah, I think just a great time.
Andrew?
Yeah. Okay. I think it is good. I don't know. For some reason, it didn't click with me like it did with others. I watched it with my family because I had heard it would be a good one. And, like, I don't know. I get weird watching movies with my parents, admittedly, because they're weird about movies. But the comedy didn't hit that hard for me. Didn't laugh a whole lot. But overall, I would say an enjoyable film and certainly top tier for this specific sort of film. So yeah.
Ashwin?
Yeah, I would love to like shake up the discussion and be like, I think this film was trash. But yeah, I basically agree. I enjoyed it. It didn't like overstay its welcome. It was like funny enough. And I don't mean that in like a disparaging way. Like it just was funny enough. Yeah, I don't really have much more to say about this. Yeah, funny movie. I didn't watch the second one, but we'll get there when we get there. I think this, well, we'll get to the ranking, I guess. This feels like RS to me. relatively speaking.
Yeah,
again, but-
yeah.
Yeah.
This is what I would put this
I
in
get
as.
that.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
putting War Games S. I'm gonna go ahead and spoil it for everybody. War Games is my only S. I
think
love
you're
War
the only
Games,
person
and I
who's
saw
seen
it.
maybe, but
Oh, let's go! Then I get so
we can't
rigged.
argue with that.
Oh no.
Yeah, Albert. Start watching it now, bitch. Yeah, sorry. Cool. Then I think I'm going A here. But hey, it might be our first S.
I think, yeah, okay.
I already
So
said their
then-
thoughts, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we're putting this in S then, right?
That's fine with me.
Seems reasonable. Yeah.
Didn't even ask for other people's ratings.
Well,
Yeah,
No, I think Matthew said S. I said S. You said A. I don't think.
Oh, okay.
Did Albert
Albert's definitely
say-
going S.
Albert,
I'm fine with it. I mean, Matthew already placed it in S, so I just assume we all agreed on S. So I'm like, okay.
yeah, because Albert said we agree, or he agreed, and when you said like we're putting this in S probably. Then,
Okay.
Mhm. It's
So
one of the
good.
better ones for sure. So yeah.
yeah. Let's go to the next one then. Jumanji: The Next Level, the sequel. Albert, why don't you start off?
I'm maybe in the minority, like just outside of this panel, but I kind of like this one more than the first one. I think they doubled down on the body swap concept and made it even more absurd and funnier of them swapping all the time and like introducing Danny Glover and Danny DeVito. Yeah, into the mix and seeing Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson having to play that role, I think is great. And Aquafina, I thought she fits in pretty good with the whole crew already existing. That could have ruined the chemistry, but I thought Aquafina works well with the whole team. And yeah, I just thought the adventure is much more fun in this one. And it's pretty much exactly everything you want from the first one, but I thought they just executed better with a bigger ensemble and everything. So yeah.
Andrew?
I thought it was worse. I think it overstayed its welcome. To use Ashwin's metaphor, turn of phrase, whatever, dude. Yeah, I personally felt like it stayed too long, and it definitely lost me. But still, like, I would still consider it like an enjoyable movie. It went a little bit long. Aquafina's edition was okay. I just always believe that Aquafina can do more. You know, maybe I just believe too much, but yeah, that's where I land. I want to see more drama from Aquafina. That's my point.
Fair enough.
All right. Ashwin, you said you didn't see this one, right?
Yeah, I never got to see this, which is kind of funny because I liked the first one, and then I felt a profound lack of need to see this one. So
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I don't think it's better than the first one, but I do think it's like just about as entertaining. I think like they do improve on the world and just like the characters. I really enjoy Danny DeVito and Danny Glover. I think this is one of Aquafina's better roles because she doesn't. It's not like she's just making jokes the entire time, you know. So I like her in this one, and yeah, I just like the new dynamics that it brings. But yeah, not as much as the first one. I still think it's a great movie though. All right, Albert, where are you rating this then? Top of S?
Well, I did say I like it more than Jumanji, but I wouldn't put Jumanji in the first place as I would have closer to A. But now since it's that, so I guess I have to stick with S. So yeah.
See, we didn't get everybody's opinion. I said we didn't. Kid. I'm going A here.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I would go top of A.
I'm fine with top of A.
makes sense.
Okay.
I don't have an opinion because I didn't watch it.
Fair enough.
All right. Cool. Then we'll move on to Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Okay, I've not seen this one. I only
Ashton?
saw the one that I fell asleep during.
Yeah, this like I have like faint memories of it. It's like it's okay, you know. In my mind, I'm always comparing it to the new Tomb Raider, which I assume we'll get to that when we get to that. But this one's definitely worse than that one. It's very like how do I put this? It's very silly, which is kind of good and bad. There's like a really funny sequence where Angelina Jolie is like training in her mansion and she's like shooting robots and stuff. And I don't know, I've never played a Tomb Raider game. I can't imagine that's like what happens in them.
It's not.
Oh
I
my
feel like
God.
I'm the resident video game player here.
It seems reasonable. Yeah, she's like Batman in this actually, the more I think about it. But I guess the character is kind of just Batman-esque in a way. Yeah, this movie's okay. Like, it's enjoyable. I don't think like I think you would be entertained while watching it, and I think you would be partially entertained at sort of how cheesy and silly it is. But I also do think it's kind of just fun. Yeah, I have some. Yeah, that's what I'll say about this movie. I feel like this, and you know, part of this is on an aesthetic level. I would like to put this in B. Because this is one of those video game movies that is like definitely bad, but it's just bad in a fun way. And it kind of does what it set out to accomplish, you know.
Okay. Yeah, fair. I'm cool with that.
To support Ashwin real quick, I never saw the film, but when I was editing the In Memoriam last year for Angelina Jolie for the filmography because she's out, I was looking to Lara Croft clips, and that was one of the clips that I saw of her fighting the robots. I'm like, what is this? What's going on? So yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, which it feels weird that this is the first Pokemon movie we're talking, or I guess like, you know, not including Detective Pikachu, but this is like a mainline Pokemon thing, right? So, yeah, if I'm gonna compare this movie to anything else, I'm gonna compare it to The Lion King 2019, which is basically it's a shot-for-shot remake that they made in CGI. It just feels like lifeless. Like it's very uninspired and like unnecessary. Like the 3D animation doesn't look all that great. Like the humans look weird, look really weird. And then like, just like the scenes where you are supposed to feel emotion in the original movie, just like they don't hit. The voice acting is also off, which is weird. So yeah, it's very similar to the Lion King remake. That I'd put this in F tier. This is an F for me.
Wow.
I don't know how to judge. Do I put this in the bottom of F or do I put it in top?
Do
Because I haven't seen Blood Rain.
I would say
But
it's probably still better than Blood Rain. Blood Rain is really bad, but it doesn't really matter too
This does
much.
feel if it's like shot for shot, but and the first one's good, then I imagine even if that's like an awful thing to do, it's better than Blood Rain.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, that
The
was my
first,
thoughts.
the original is good. I tried to watch this. I stopped because I couldn't. I was like, "What is the point? This looks awful." So I literally
Yeah.
stopped.
Albert, if you try to think War Games or Uncharted, I'm gonna watch this movie and only this movie. Fuck the original.
Okay, that's fine.
Damn, shit, fuck. I thought you cared about me.
Honestly, it's the F tier, so it's like, does it matter which one goes on top?
Yeah, exactly. It's not a big deal, I don't think.
Okay. Well, then we can move on to our first Paul W.S. Anderson movie, right?
What is
Monster
it?
Hunter.
Oh, who watched
Oh, yeah.
this? Oh God. Why?
I would like to, not thank, but I would like to blame my councilman members, Tagu, Arik, and Calvin, who play the game and they love the game and they're like, we all
Yeah.
gotta watch this. And I'm like, I really don't want to. And they're like, we gotta review it on the show. And I'm like, fine. Because they want an outside opinion of someone who doesn't play the game.
That's so
I
funny.
don't give a shit about the game. I watched the film. It is boring. Apparently they do like an Alice in Wonderland thing where they bring a main human. Well, they're all humans, I guess, in the game. I don't know. But basically, they bring like military from like real world to this universe where there are like monsters and everything, and they have to survive. They have to go back to the real world. Couldn't care less about any of them. I think is Tyrese Gibson in this, or am I hallucinating? I think
Probably.
he might be. I think he might be
I
in
believe if he was based on this
I'm
Possible.
gonna
selection.
Google. I'm gonna Google that now. I know Mila Jovovich is in there. No, it's not Tyrese. It's Ti. My bad. And yeah, Ron Perlman is in this as well. He's very ridiculous too. Yeah, no, the film's boring. The monsters does not impress me at all. And in no universe do I actually believe these humans / even though they're supposed to be military, that they have a chance against all these creatures that should have died in the first few minutes. Because like these monsters are like fucking
Bro, in the
huge.
games, they're like warriors who are like ready for it. They're not like military transporters.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
oh, trust me, I've heard all the complaints from my council members of like how this is unfaithful. The weapon sucks. It's not realistic and everything. I'm like, yeah, this is okay. It just doesn't work. It's just a really boring adaptation as a whole.
That's really funny, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's weird because like from my knowledge of Monster Hunter, the whole appeal is that you have like people with like crazy outlandish weapons fighting crazy outlandish monsters. Why?
Yeah, for sure.
Who wants to see people using like machine guns and tanks? I don't know.
I personally
They
don't like the
use-
games that much, and the appeal is still there.
They use outlandish weapon, but probably they could have gone much more bonkers with the weapons, and they sort of like went middle ground with it.
Mhm.
Because there's like a sword the size of a person, I guess, yeah, but it's like you want to use a sword the size of a person against like a 70-foot dragon. What are you gonna do? Like, so yeah.
All right,
That's all.
So that's it. What do you want to put on the tier list?
See, at least I finished this movie, but maybe that's because I feel obliged to finish it. Unlike Mewtwo Strikes Back, so I guess a D probably.
Okay.
So yeah.
I guess we can just put it there. I don't really know how we want to shift it. It's like
hard to
these
order the
universes.
tiers when none of us have seen all of the movies. So like,
yeah.
Kind of counting
yeah.
on our trusting each other.
It's just like okay, yeah. Do you feel like it's worse than Assassin's Creed based on what you heard about them talking about that movie, or?
Oh yes, I think it. Well, I don't know. Didn't
From what
Assassin's
I've
Creed?
heard about the movie, yeah, I don't understand. Well, don't they
You know-
have like
you
a
know what,
really
actually,
bad racial joke in
I
that
think-
movie?
In where? Assassin's Creed?
No, in
no, definitely not.
no, in Monster Hunter.
I don't know. I don't remember. I think it's probably better though, from what I've heard, because I've heard a lot of stuff about Assassin's Creed movie as well.
Okay.
Didn't
That's-
Michael Fassbender
I think
pretend to
we
ride a
have to talk
horse in
about this.
Assassin's Creed?
Pretend to
what?
ride a horse? Wait.
Oh, yeah,
describe
no,
this
I
He
know what you're
pretend to
talking
ride a
about.
horse in simulation, right? Yeah, that just sounds more stupid than anything in Monster Hunter. So it's
Dude,
probably-
they fucked with the Animus so hard from what I've seen. The Animus is a cool concept, but
Mhm.
yeah.
All right. We got Cameron in the live chat saying hey, so maybe
Hey.
he'll chime in some more.
any opinions, Big Cam?
All right, let's move on to Mortal Kombat, the original. So, Ashwin.
All right, am I the only one? Okay, so this is going to be this. I was sort of getting at this with Tomb Raider, and I didn't want to go in on this topic for too long. But Mortal Kombat sort of exemplifies this concept to me, where like it's not good, right? Let me just start off by saying that. However, it's so good for what it is, and it's so cheesy in a good way, and like every character is like super dramatic. I love the guy who plays Raiden. He's so like everything he says has so much gravitas, and then you actually think about what he said, and you're like, that doesn't make any sense. I like this movie a lot, and like I think it's one of those things again where it's obviously it's a little older movie. Well, it's 95, so not that old, but it just does what it's trying to do. Mortal Kombat. The Mortal Kombat lore is both complex and simple at the same time, in my opinion, in the sense that there's a lot of stuff that happens, but you could just boil it down to like Shao Kahn has a tournament, and if the Earth people lose, the Earth is destroyed. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
And that just facilitates the fights. So I like this movie. I think it's really fun. I would actually watch it again, which is what I could more than I could say for like most of the movies on this list. Not to trash on Free Guy again, but I'm gonna trash on Free Guy. I would definitely personally I would put this above Free Guy. But like we're not gonna end up there. But I just want to put that out there.
I think you have free reign here, though.
See, I would feel bad about doing that because like while I could easily say that I enjoyed this movie like 10 times more than I enjoyed Free Guy, I don't know that I could say it's better. You know, that seems dishonest.
There you go.
This feels like top of B tier. You know, it's like Tomb Raider again.
All right. Well, then I'll put it at the top of.
Use your power. Abuse your power. Even.
Now I want to set a bad precedent. You know, I know it'll just come back to bite me later. Like
I'm not. Nothing. No moral action you take will make me take a similar one.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, well then we'll move on to the sequel.
Okay, I assume I'm the only one for this one. That would be really strange if one of you guys had only seen this one.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so this one is like it's clearly again, I don't know how financially well the first one did.
They just start spinning. The way they transport underground, that's the only thing I've seen from this movie.
Yeah, it's like again, it's gonna feel weird because I don't know that I could confidently say this movie and the first movie are like super different, but I really like the first movie and I don't like this movie that much because it's just boring. And I was sort of getting at this, like, I don't know necessarily why they made this. Like, I don't know if the first movie performed really well and like, okay, we have to make a sequel because that's just kind of what it feels like. You know, there's a lot of like recasting where the original actor clearly just didn't care enough to come back. And like, I don't know. This movie is very unremarkable, which is a shame because it has Shao Kahn in it. So, you know, that is potentially cool. But yeah, this movie's kind of bad. Probably like D tier, which is kind of funny that it's so far apart from the first one, but it just doesn't accomplish the same like level of just general epicness as the first movie. And so when it lacks that, then it's just a bad movie and it's just boring.
Right.
I think somewhere in D tiers. I guess I could say this. It's definitely. I didn't think it was as egregious as the Assassin's Creed movie, but I might just really hate the Assassin's Creed movie.
Okay. Well, I trust your judgment. I haven't seen either, but Andrew, you have at least seen Assassin's Creed. But if you're okay with that,
No, I haven't seen Assassin's Creed.
oh,
I'm just a huge Assassin's Creed fan.
oh, okay, okay, gotcha.
Well, I used to be. New games suck. I hate RPG systems for games that weren't meant to be RPGs. But yeah, never mind. That's not a part of this discussion.
All right. Well, then we'll move on to the new Mortal Kombat. Andrew, have you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Would love to talk about this one.
I'll let you talk about it first because I do have some thoughts on this. But...
Okay, is it just the two of us here?
Yeah, I think so.
I've seen
Okay.
it.
I've seen it.
So it's all of us then.
Let's
Okay,
go.
Great. Okay,
I enjoyed the hell out of this movie, dude. It's like I'm like a mild Mortal Kombat fan. Like I like watching some tournaments. I like playing the story modes of the games because I'm not good at this type of fighting game. Dude, I was so in for this. Like, I think I watched during finals, and I texted Aiden before I watched it because Aiden watched it as well, and I was like, I'm gonna watch the Mortal Kombat movie, and he was like, oh, sure, dude, do whatever you want. And I was like, whatever. Like, I'm not gonna pay attention to it. It's gonna be a good background movie. But I ended up watching very intently watching the whole thing. It was super entertaining to me. I lost my headset.
What was that?
Oh, okay.
They have some really faithful aspects of it, and other aspects that are not so faithful towards lore or anything like that. But the fatalities were super fun. I really enjoyed the fights, even if it's not peak fight choreography or anything. I just thought it was a super fun, enjoyable movie that I probably will watch again. I'll get a friend or somebody to watch it with me. I'm not gonna throw it on by myself again, but Like it feels like a good movie to have like a couple drinks and chill with the buds and just watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure, for sure.
I mean, I can talk about this next. I guess we've all seen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this movie. Funnily enough, I don't know if I like it as much as the '95 version. And again, like part of that is just like purely sort of sentimental value type thing. This movie's cool. It like, I think it's cool that it's like a very polished looking movie, but it's not overly serious because that would just be terrible for a Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
I think the characters, yeah, I agree. I think almost all the characters are like, if I were to picture them in movies, that's how I picture them. Because it's funny, I've actually, I've never owned a Mortal Kombat game, but my uncle had one, and we used to go to his house like a lot. So I've actually played like a lot of Mortal Kombat. Probably mostly, I don't know, whatever the fourth one was.
Mortal
but-
Kombat 4, yes.
Oh, was it just called 4? Okay,
I don't know,
okay.
man. I've played the new
It's-
ones more than anything.
Yeah, I know 5 was like the first sort of modern one. So I know it was the one before that. Anyways, that's not important. I like this movie. I think it's cool. It's like what I would be looking for from a Mortal Kombat movie. I don't understand why they need to introduce what's his name? The guy, the original character.
Cole.
Yeah, Cole.
Oh yeah.
He's an original character.
Yeah, he's just not he could have just been Johnny Cage. Like,
Right, yeah.
He
And
serves the same
they
purpose.
like tease Johnny Cage at the end, and it's like he could have been here.
it just could have been him. It's like, okay, we need a human who's like new to this system, so everything has to be explained to them. Yeah, that could just be Johnny Cage. I don't know, kind of weird. Yeah, but I like it. Good movie. Well, relatively.
Yeah. Before we go to me, Cameron says that the movie is pretty fun. So
Yeah, agreed,
this is,
man.
yeah, no, it is very, very fun movie. I think I also had a lot of fun with it. I think it is, it's a Mortal Kombat movie. It's just like fun action. I'm a loose fan of the games. Like I've played them before, but like I don't own the games, so like I know enough about the characters to like know what like a cool fatality is, or like some of the dialogue that they like bring up like from the games. So yeah, and then I think there's some great kills as well. I think the one with the fan, we've all seen it. So
Yeah. Dude,
or
that
the
one's
hat.
from the games, or like really similar. at
Yeah.
least to one from the
Yeah,
games.
that's what I've heard. Yeah. And then I think the Scorpion and the Sub-Zero fight was pretty entertaining. The opening scene too, was like with all that. It was
Yeah.
really cool.
When they
Just
they
some-
released that ahead of time, and I was like, oh, this could be good.
Yeah, had that exact same thought actually.
I don't remember the opening scene. Oh wait, is it okay? It's a fight. Never mind.
Yeah, it's the fighting. Yeah, the great action, and yeah, Joe Taslim. He's great.
Hell yeah.
I need to watch more that he's in because I've only seen him in from what I can remember, Fast and Furious 6.
Wait, you haven't seen the Raid movies?
No, I haven't. No.
Dude, you gotta watch those.
Yeah, I definitely have to. But yeah, it's just great. Like turn off your brain, fun action.
I will say I'm sad they didn't sort of they didn't include the fatality where he just keeps chucking apples at him. That's a
That's
big
a bit. What? Okay.
Those games are wild, dude.
Yeah, just for the record, that's not actually a fatality. That's a reference to an Eric Andre bit. But
Oh,
No, but they have like stupid shit in there.
yeah,
Like,
see
they
the
have one where they,
friendalities or whatever they're called,
Yeah. Animalities, and then like
the babyalities or something.
yeah. Wait, what? Yeah, I know.
Yes, something.
It's something like that. Yeah, and that's like since game 2. Like those games have been dumb as hell since the beginning. It's awesome.
All right, Albert.
okay. So yeah, I thought this film was also fun, enjoyable. The plot is super dumb, and I thought nothing makes sense in terms of the story of like what is happening. Like none of it, like it doesn't. What's the word for it? It's like nothing adds up. Like it just doesn't adds up logically on a lot of the stuff. But it looks cool, and the fatality and the action's great. So who gives a shit? And yeah, the action is great. Like you said, Joe Taslim is good. I thought Ludi Lin is good. The guy who plays every samurai in every movie, Hiroyuki Sanada, is good.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, dude, he's like, if you open his filmography, all of his roles are like samurai roles. Like, he's literally the go-to samurai person. I feel bad for him,
Yeah.
but I mean, he's getting paid. And yeah, just like Matthew, I don't really know the game, but I know it enough to the point where I know that Mechats Brooks' character, he lost his arm, but he's gonna grow back his arm, right? Because he got the metal arm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jack-
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he has a metal
Yeah,
arm, yeah.
like I know that enough to trick Kenneth, because Kenneth doesn't know shit. And I watched it with him. I was like, "Hey, wanna bet? I bet that he's gonna grow back. He's gonna get an arm back." And he's like, "No chance. He's not gonna get his arm back." I'm like, "All right, how many? $5? $5. All right, deal." And I got a $5. So
Just-
Kenneth, if
Damn,
you're watching,
just
hi.
scamming your friend.
I don't know if
I
Kenneth
mean,
realized
that-
till now until that I knew about it beforehand.
That's his fault, to be fair. And
Yeah.
It's also
an
in the
adaptation
trailers,
of
I
the video
think.
game series.
I think it's also in the trailer. So yeah,
Dude, it's so funny when they give him that like weak arm and they're
It's
like,
so bad.
"Oh no, what's gonna happen?" And you're like, "Okay, dude, sure." I bet he keeps that weak arm.
So I guess where are we thinking for this?
I would consider S, dude. I'll say A.
Whoa.
Like just in comparison to
I would
everything
consider
else, the amount of enjoyment I got out of it is so much higher than like any of these other movies.
Like I think
Yeah.
I had more fun with this than the first Jumanji, but
Yeah.
like
I'd agree.
yeah.
When you're trying to be like an objective film critic on YouTube.com.
Me?
Come on, dude. No, Matthew.
Oh.
I agree. I think this is not only do I think this is just a really fun movie, I also think like if I look at the movies we have in ANS, a lot of them are either like just movies about video games or like Detective Pikachu.
It's
Pikachu.
just
I don't
like
know.
named after a video game, but it's not even following the plot of it.
Yeah, right. And this movie is just like unabashedly, fully an adaptation of the Mortal
no
Kombat games,
plot to
and
Mortal
it's
Kombat.
well, exactly.
No,
That's
exactly.
why the
That's-
movie has
and there's no
plot.
real
Okay.
plot to the movie.
well, it worked. Yeah.
Well, there was a plot, which is like I think my problem
The
when
plot
I
is essentially they're gonna take
my-
over Earth because of this Mortal Kombat tournament, which is the plot of every single Mortal Kombat video game.
Yeah, they just have to come up with different ways to get to that.
I think that was my issue with this. I put too much thought. I got too lost in the plot while watching it, so like it deducts my fun of it when I was watching. I was like, this is that shouldn't be happening. I was like,
Hey, man, don't put that shit
so
on
that-
this movie.
No, that's why it's
Well,
my
yeah,
own
that's all
fault.
you.
So it suffers my viewing experience of it, which is why I couldn't put it as an S and an A. I would
know
put
what?
it at
I'm
a,
gonna
I'll
put
put
it
it at
top
a
of that.
B.
I'm putting it top of S
So-
because it's great. It's
Okay,
fun.
that's fair.
It's like you can
It's
tell.
my own fault.
I do like it more than Jumanji, so it's top of S for me as well.
Damn.
Yeah, I agree. You gotta actually play a NetherRealm game and play through one of the story modes and like
Yeah,
in
like
the
the
story-
Injustice games.
yeah, the two characters meet and they're like, I think this. No, I think this. And they fight and then you
and then
play
they fight, and then it ends, and they're like, "Oh, we can be friends, actually."
Oh my God.
it's so good.
Fantastic.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah,
Ugh.
All right, so Ashwin, you said top of S as well.
yeah. I'll vote for top of S as well.
Okay. Top of
So-
S. At least,
So, wait. So what? Andrew also did S.
yeah. Because three
And
of
I'm
us
the
did
only
top
one.
of
I'm
S,
the
I
I'm the
think.
only one
Yeah.
of B. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't like Jumanji at S. So if we
enough.
factor in the
Fair
fact that I don't like Jumanji as much, then it means that we win.
All right. Well,
Makes sense.
Okay.
we'll move on to Pixels. Was this one just?
I've seen
Ashwin?
I've seen Pixels.
Oh yeah, I
Just
think I
Albert.
just forgot to put it in my list. I have seen this.
You've seen it too. Okay. Albert, we'll go to you first. Then.
I don't remember much. I know it's bad. I think Kevin James played the president of the United States, right? That's
Yep.
I don't know why I remember that. I remember Peter Dinklage being like the world champion of Donkey Kong and he cheated. I remember that. I don't remember what Adam Sandler did in this film. I think Josh Gad is in this film as well. I don't remember much, except that there are some stuff that looks kind of cool, of like the pixel art from the arcade game translated to real life. I thought some of those look cool, but I think the plot is bad. I really don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, I can like, if I remember correctly, the reason why they're fighting the video game characters is because they're aliens.
Aliens, yeah.
Yeah, and the aliens like interpreted Earth media, and so they decided to present themselves to us as, our beloved video game characters. That was my sort of understanding of it.
Now
and
I remember now.
I remember basically all the things you mentioned. I remember one other thing that's very important that you didn't mention, which is that Josh Gad's character, who is a human, I need to establish that now, has a romantic sort of plot with Qbert. Yeah, with Qbert. And at the very end of the movie, Qbert turns into like a lady with a dress, and then Josh Gad's like, "Oh yeah," and then
I know all of these things about this movie, and it's infuriating that I do. Because I watched people talk about this movie so much, I could give you the whole plot.
Oh man!
And they have Qbert babies, right? Like you see like baby Qberts in a crib.
I hate this movie so much.
Andrew, I'm surprised you haven't seen it, considering you're a massive Sandler fan.
Oh, I do. I am a huge Sandler fan. I was honestly, Albert, wondering whether you'd be a fan of this, since Grown Ups is one of your favorite movies. I didn't.
Grown Ups is good. Grown Ups is a good film. I will defend that. Pixels, not so good.
I'm sorry for outing you, Albert.
Screw you. Also, this is Chris Columbus, which is wild. I'm trying to find out who plays the human version of Qbert. Like, the fuck?
I don't think it's anyone significant. It's just Qbert is Qbert for like almost the entire movie. It's just in the very end scene, Qbert turns into a woman. I'm pretty sure of it.
I'm scrolling through to see who it is, and apparently Serena Williams is in this.
Yes. Yes. I don't remember why, but I remember she is in it.
What does she do? I don't remember. Yeah, I don't know. She might just play herself, honestly.
I was gonna say, I don't remember if she played.
Ashley Benson is
I've
in
heard
this
about
too, I think.
that. I don't know who Ashley Benson is.
Yeah.
So where's it go, boys?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, low, right? Like,
yeah.
I'm honestly thinking F, just on an ideological level. Like,
same. I would too.
Yeah, I feel like this could be top.
No way it's worse than Mewtwo Strikes Back, right?
Well,
Albert is struggling.
On paper, this should have been good, but like the execution is just really basic.
The short film is really good. There's
a short film?
Yeah, Pixels is based on a short film.
Damn.
And it's literally just like a cool little like it's essentially just a VFX showcase of like all of these monsters like invading Earth. It's like a cute thing, and they were like, let's make that an Adam Sandler movie.
Do you think this was Adam Sandler's idea and then he reached out to Chris Columbus, or do you think this is the other way around and they reached out to Adam Sandler? I'm curious.
I mean, it has a lot of those like, classic Adam Sandler elements in it.
There is so many Adam Sandler's best friends in this film too, but
yeah.
But yeah, I think it's enough.
I mean, personally, I think our F tier should go. We're putting the best movies at this way, right? So, I think Blood Rain should be at the bottom of F. I feel like Blood Rain is actually. I don't know. I don't know how to put it. Yeah, I don't really want to order F. I don't even want to think about it, honestly.
Okay. Well, then, if that's where we're putting it, we'll move on to the Pokemon movies now. So, this will likely just be me and Albert.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab some food. Dude, look how long this goes. It goes through Prince of Persia, dude.
Oh yeah,
this is like the next like 12 movies.
Okay, I wasn't expecting. There's more. There's more 18. Down there. There's two more down there.
There's 2 more down there.
Okay, this is gonna be wild. All right.
But let's try to be quick for the smaller ones. For at least the first one, we can talk a little longer about. But the first one is great. I think. I didn't want to talk.
Which one are we talking about?
Let's just go in order, like Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back.
Okay, because the picture order is different.
Yeah, because the picture order is just like it's a little weirder, I guess. Because I think it's because the way it's named, right? The first movie instead of Pokemon 2000, where like the number goes first. But yeah, the first movie, like I haven't seen it in years, but like I can remember a lot about it. Like, Ash gets a letter from Mewtwo to go to this island. Then like they all go there, and then like Mewtwo's like cloning Pokemon, and then there's this one Pikachu is like slapping the other Pikachu, and then Ash turns to stone. Like it's just like that's a heartbreaking scene. Like I can remember a whole lot about it, and so yeah, I mean I would put it pretty high. Albert.
Yes, I like this too. This was not the first Pokemon film I ever saw. Actually, it was pretty late to the game for this particular film. A lot of these Pokemon films are out of order, but I liked it. There's definitely an emotional beat to this film that is stronger than most of the other Pokemon films. Like everything you said as well, there is a huge Pokemon war. I think that happened here. And I am very much mixing up this one and where is it? There's another one in this list that is almost similar. Is it the I Choose You one? Because I think
Yeah,
it was like because they switched some parts, but it's like very similar. So I'm
you know
mixing
which one's
those
really
two up.
similar? Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution.
No, yeah, that one is just a frame by frame. Because like no, this one and I think the Pokemon I Choose You, like in one of them. Ash is the one who dies, and the other one Pikachu is one. I don't remember. Maybe I'm hallucinating in both of these. But yeah, no, this one is pretty good.
Where do you want to put this on the tier list?
Let's see the list. I'm fine with like an A or a B.
See, Nostalgia wants me to put it in S, but I think I haven't seen it so long. We can put it in an A.
It's fair. The thing is, this is not my favorite Pokemon movie.
Yeah.
So
okay. Before Cole's in the chat now.
It's been an hour and it's real ranked, and we've ranked this many movies. So that's an accomplishment on itself.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Cole says the first Pokemon movie still hits hard. I think it's definitely like I think it's my favorite Pokemon movie. So we can just put in an A tier, but I want to hear Andrew and Ashwin's thoughts on us putting this in A tier.
Dude, I did place these wherever I can't wait.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, like I
don't care for any of the movies in A tier. So do what you will.
See, I feel like yeah, I really couldn't comment. Like both the movies in B tier, I put there myself, and so I like those movies. But I also don't think they're very good. So
I genuinely think this is a good movie. It's one of my favorites. So I would put it at the top of A because I would put this in S normally. But Albert, how do you feel about putting this a little higher, or do you want to leave it there? I'm okay.
a little higher than this.
Yeah, like in within
above Free Guy. I don't think so.
I'm fine with where it is right now. Again, I think my Pokemon film taste and your Pokemon film taste is very different based on nostalgia. So that's gonna be divisive that way. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I have nostalgia for like the next few Pokemon movies that are, but Cole is Cole says Free Guy should be F tier. You should go back to one more time.
I mean, I don't care.
Maybe D tier if I'm being nice. Well, yeah, because we are rating these like within like video game movies. I think, that's why we have less in F and more balanced, I guess. For just Cole's new. Okay, so
yeah,
we'll go on to Pokemon the movie 2000 then.
Okay, that's the Lugia one.
Yeah, that's the Lugia one.
That one is fine. Wait, let me skim the Wikipedia plot a little bit.
I'm trying to remember the movie. Another one where I watched as a kid, so it's just like memory is hazy. I can't remember a whole lot right now. I remember liking it. Lugia is cool and the three birds, but I can't quite remember the plot, so I might have to just rate it lower. Put in like
okay, because I am either mixing this up with an actual Pokemon episode, which happens to have Lugia and the three birds, or is this actually the movie? But yeah, I don't remember much. If it is the one that I remember, I think it's sort of good. Okay, this is the one that I remember. This is one I remember. Okay, this is the film I'm seeing screenshots. Yeah, I think this one's pretty good. It's not as strong as the first one. I think some of the characters are fine. Yeah, it's all right. It's okay. Ash is fine. The villain's stupid, ridiculous.
Yeah, the villain's pretty bad. So
yeah.
where should we put this?
See,
I think we can put it above the Angry Birds movies, though.
that's fine with me. We got better birds in this film anyway.
All right, Cole says, "Are we ranking any of the Resident Evil movies? We have not seen any of them."
Thankfully.
Okay, so
All
the
right.
next one is Pokemon 3, the Spell of the Unknown. This is the one with Entei and like the little kid who's like wants her father, right? And then her mother, and then Entei goes and steals Ash's mom and then goes back. So I remember more about this movie, at least. Like I remember really liking this.
Yeah, I don't remember much about this, but I can probably say that I do not like this film very much. I know a lot of people say this is higher ups on the Pokemon film rankings. I don't care very much for what I remember from this film. The kidnapping storyline with Entei is just kind of weird. So yeah.
I would put this above 2000, but
If you want to, that's fine. I'm indifferent. I would put it lower, but
'cause I would put it in B tier. But I think if we're gonna compromise,
okay,
we can just put it there.
sounds good.
Yeah. This is basically the Pokemon section of our real ranked. So that's exactly what it is now.
I know you love it, Cole. Just admit it. You know.
All right. Pokemon Forever, Celebi. I'm just like, we're gonna speed run this. This one, I don't remember this one. So
I remember this one.
all right, Albert, let's hear.
I've seen this one. I haven't seen it recently, but I've seen this one definitely a lot more than some of the others. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. I would put it either A or probably low B. Not low. Well, somewhere in B. Not probably lower than the
It's
first
a bit
Pokemon
high,
movie.
but
I liked it a lot. It's really cool.
I do remember
story
like
with
the
time
time
travel is
travel
fun.
element.
Yes, the
But-
time travel element's fun.
Yeah. But I think I would just put this in B. If you want to put it,
I was
can
about
figure
to say I was about to say B. So
okay. Do you want to? I mean, I guess you haven't seen them,
I
but
haven't seen either of them. So I'm fine with putting it lowest B.
okay, I'm good with that too.
Mhm.
Okay. I think. Do we go to Pokemon Heroes or do we go to the Mewtwo Returns?
What the hell is Mewtwo Returns?
That's the sequel to Mewtwo Strikes Back. Like this one's
I think
like
it's the one where
directly
he comes
related. This one's like more related to it, I guess. So,
I have not seen this one. I don't think have I.
or you haven't seen this?
Let me
Okay,
see.
yeah, this is just like a sequel. It's like a TV movie, I guess. It's like a long TV.
Oh, okay, I have not seen this one. No, based on what I'm seeing.
Yeah, but yeah, this one I don't remember a whole lot about. I know I watched it, but like, I think this is one of the weaker ones. I would put this in the C tier. Like, it's not bad, so it's not
I'm
like,
making a peanut butter
terrible,
sandwich.
but I think we can
Nice.
put it there. Especially, I would rather watch Mewtwo Returns than the Angry Birds movies, though. So.
Fair enough. Probably shorter too.
Yeah. Okay, then we move on to
2000?
2000.
Not on 2000. Forever. Is it Pokemon Forever?
Yeah, Pokemon Forever. Let's do that. Yeah.
That's the one with Latias and Latios. I think this one is a lot of. I think this one's good. I think this is pretty dark as well, based on what I remember. The opening scene of this film is like a race on the water, and I thought it
That
was
was cool.
really cool. That's like one of the
Corsola.
few things I remember.
I remember
Totodile.
Misty riding Corsola, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and Totodile as well. Yeah, I remember that greatly. I remember Latias and Latios, I guess, or is it just mainly Latias have a human form, and that
Yeah,
and that
Latias. turns into a human and like falls in love with Ash or something.
Falls
like
in
that.
love
They
with
have, like,
Ash, which is a little bit weird because I think she starts smooching Ash, and as a kid you probably don't think much, but now it's kind of a little bit weird. Um,
This is the shit y'all guys into?
yes, Andrew.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I would put it like maybe a C as well for me.
I put it C below 2000. I like 2000 more.
Okay, that's
Probably.
fine.
Okay.
As you can probably tell, some of the Indigo Plateau series does not resonate that much with me. Some of the other ones you'll have to see.
Okay, so I'm trying to think what's the next one. Let me double check the.
Do we still have a Johto and Kanto?
I think Lucario. Wait, no, Destiny Deoxys.
No, it's probably
Jirachi Wishmaker.
yeah, Jirachi Wishmaker.
Jirachi Wishmaker, which I remember. I like Hoenn. I like the Hoenn stuff. I really like Max and May like as characters. So I think it's fun. I think like Max and Jirachi, they have like the spawn in the movie if I remember correctly. Like the wishes and stuff. It's I don't have a whole lot to say about these movies, but I remember liking it.
This one is good. The villain is comical as well. It's there. The Groudon stuff is interesting. I don't know how to judge it like properly because of nostalgia factor, but I'll just say there is a really good lullaby in the film based on what I remember. So just if anyone want to listen, open YouTube and look up May's lullaby for Jirachi, and it's pretty cute. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think this one's just I'd still stick in C. But if you,
I would put it, if we were gonna put it in C, I would put it highest in C. But if you disagree, that's fine.
Did you want to put it in B?
No.
Okay. But you said high C. Okay. This one.
Andrew, Ashwin, you guys are enjoying this, are you?
Yeah, I'm saving up all my Pokemon takes until the very end.
I just platinumed Battle for Bikini Bottom, and I don't know what to do anymore. That was my plan for this section of the game, but I did it too fast.
Now, you know what I think we should do after you guys finish all the Pokemon movies? Andrew and I should get to talk for 30 minutes about why Pokemon actually sucks. So,
True.
let's start taking notes for that.
True.
Oh my
All right. Yeah, Destiny Deoxys. Albert, what are your thoughts on Destiny Deoxys?
Destiny Deoxys is forgettable. They tried to went cosmic with it a little, going to space with Deoxys and Rayquaza. I think it's very forgettable. It's forgettable. It's probably the worst of the Hoenn series in terms of movie.
I don't think like any of these are like horrible though, so I wouldn't put it in D. I think this is just I would just stick in C and then I would put it lower.
I would put it lower than Heroes. I haven't seen Mewtwo.
I would put it lower than Mewtwo. Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
C is just lining up with these Pokemon movies.
Yeah.
But all right. Well, the next one we have is Lucario and the Mystery of Mew. This one is probably like the best. Like I have more nostalgia for the first movie, but I love the Lucario film. I think it's like Lucario is just a cool character, and then just with Mew as well. And I'm trying to remember. I don't have a lot to like say about these, so. But yeah, Albert, you might have more since I think you watched it more.
I did rewatch it recently. I'm trying to look at the Real Rank Letterboxd list to see if I actually did include it for my video animated sequels film, or did it not make the cut? Just give me a stalling for time. Blah 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 blah. I did include it. Okay, so I did include it in the animated sequels. I think this is probably, if not, probably the best, or if not, then the second best for the animated Pokemon films. I think it's really well done. The story of the whole Lucario relationship with Ash and with his former partner. The action is great. The animation is beautiful. The whole stuff with Mew is cool as well. And yeah, I think almost all of these movies introduce like new Pokemons before it's ever introduced to the games or the anime or everything. Like Lucario was never heard of before, and then they reveal it in this film, and that's probably one of the best introductions ever to any Pokemon. So yeah,
True. Yeah, this one's an A tier for me.
that's fine with me.
Do you want to put above or below?
I would put it above. But
I'm
if-
okay with that because like
Okay.
this one's great. It is really good. Sean just got here and it's saying Pokemon does not suck and why is Pixels so low? Well, C tier does not mean that the Pokemon sucks. Pokemon movies are good, but some of them are more forgettable. So
Yeah, it's been a while. Also, it's really hard to find these films. So no. I wish there was a streaming service somewhere where we can just.
a lot of these I had like DVDs and stuff. So
I do too, but I don't have it here. So yeah.
okay. And next one is Pokemon Ranger and the Temple of the Sea. So yeah, this one I'm just like it's the movie with Manaphy, but
Mhm.
I can't remember a whole lot about it.
I think this also might be the first time they introduced the concept of Pokemon Ranger. And I definitely did not think they did the best job of it, but I mean it's spin off to the video game series, so I guess that's successful. I think the Manaphy stuff is okay. I think the Manaphy stuff they've done better than the Pokemon Ranger stuff in this film. And there is a lot of comedic factor to in this film with the body swapping as well, because Manaphy have the heart swap ability. But yeah, it's all right. Animation's cool though, because they went underwater a lot.
Yeah, that's true. The animation looks good. Where do you want to put this?
I think this is better than Jirachi.
Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Pokemon Ranger. Okay, let's talk about the Mastermind of the Mirage Pokemon. I think that's what it's called, right? Which is just like a long form TV episode again, but like it's the
Okay.
length of the movie. I think it's fine to talk about. But yeah, this one I was like, oh, we don't have this on our list. I remember this one though, because like I have like a very distinct memory of like the Mirage Pokemon for some reason, and I remember liking it a lot. But Albert.
Yeah, this is a TV special, right? I absolutely love this. I watched it on repeat when I was younger. I think this one probably affected me more emotionally than the first Pokemon movie. Of how spoiler, because Mew died in this film. And just the whole final battle is like insanely cool with like the whole ability that Mewtwo have with the Mirage ability and seeing like Combusken, Gyarados, Pikachu, Dragonite all fighting together against Mewtwo. I thought that was like insanely cool. And the music is also great. I don't know if it's in the actual episode or if it's a trailer but they have a Mirage Pokemon song and it rocks. So I remember that.
And I think May and Misty are both in it, right? Or is this?
Yep, May and Misty are both
Right?
in it.
Yeah.
Brock's
So
in it.
I thought it was cool to
Yeah.
see them all back,
Mhm.
like the Hoenn people and
Yeah.
Kanto, and it's like, yeah. Where do you want to put this on a tier list?
I would honestly put it closer to Celebi.
Okay, we can put this in B tier. I would put it above Forever, honestly.
That's fine with me. I liked it a lot.
Okay, let's just do that then, and then our next Pokemon movie is The Rise of Darkrai.
Should I go first? Should you go first?
You can go first while I figure out like details and stuff.
This is probably like with full bias and everything, maybe objectively not the best, but this is probably my favorite personal best. Just because Sin Origin is the Diamond and Pearl is my favorite game. Sin Origin is my favorite. So just the whole cast of characters in this one, with Dawn and Brock in this one as well. It's great. I think the introduction of Alamos Town is it's for the play setting for this particular film. It works really well with seeing the Dialga and Palkia, and then of course Darkrai. It's basically like just following like oh, you think the Pokemon is the bad guy, but this Pokemon is actually the good guy trying to save everyone, and it's misunderstood and it's hated. So I think that twist really works. And just visually, it's stunning. And yeah, this is just my personal favorite of all of it, just because
Also,
I
I think
like all the
doesn't
Pokemon
it get pretty
involved.
dark too? Like it kind of gets dark a
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah,
Mhm.
like from what I can remember, I remember watching this in elementary school. So
Yeah.
it's a great movie. I remember that. Where I really enjoyed it too.
Mhm.
Tier list,
Oh.
I guess.
Yeah, see, this is my first personal with full bias. This is my favorite one. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. We can.
Where do you
this
put
in
it? Where do you put it?
8 tier. This one's really high for me too because I really enjoyed this movie too.
Okay.
I don't have my own Pokemon ranking, so I can't really say at the moment. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's hard for me. Like these two are gonna be my top two. This one is
Mhm.
like very close behind though.
Okay.
So
Which one's next?
I
think it's
Guys,
Giratina. isn't it?
I was muted there for a moment. I just saw a Cole in the chat saying, "Okay, but like the new Mortal Kombat is not that good even as an adaptation," and then proceeding it by saying, "Wait, where's this shit?" Oh wait, no. Sean said, "Why is Pixel so low?" I did correlate that with Cole, and I thought I was about to have an aneurysm. Cole, learn to enjoy yourself. I'm muting again.
Okay, so Giratina and the Sky Warrior. I think
this one's okay.
I like Shaman.
I do like Shaman too.
I think I'm trying to just like I remember Shaman in this movie a lot more distinctly, so that's why I brought that up. But Albert, you might have more to say than me.
Visually, it's cool. I think the story doesn't necessarily work based on what I remember. Also, putting Giratina and Shaman together just doesn't really make sense, really, in a conceptual Pokemon standpoint. And just as a movie, I think visually is where it stands out the best. But the story-wise, it's like it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is a pretty safe C. I think I'd put it.
Where would you put it in the C in the Pokemon rankings?
I would put it here. I think because I have stronger nostalgia for like the early ones, you know. But
that's fine with me.
Okay. Then what? Next one is
Arceus.
Arceus, yeah.
The Jewel of Life.
I haven't seen this one, so that's you.
I have seen this one. They travel back in time to the medieval times to meet Arceus. Well, not before when everything was created, because Arceus is the Pokemon god for anyone who doesn't know. And Arceus is like pissed off in the future, so they have to travel back in time to prevent the thing that happened in the past. To prevent the things that happened in the past that enrage Arceus. And I thought that concept of time traveling is a lot of fun. Again, visually, I think this era of the Pokemon movies are visually the best. I think just the hand-drawn animation is really cool mixed with the 3D computer animation as well. Story-wise, it's probably one of the better ones as well. I want to say this is probably a B. Yeah, because it's good. Also, Sean, if you're in the live chat, as you can tell, I was very passionate about my Pokemon takes. My hand was off on the camera. I couldn't possibly type that down. So that was Andrew.
Okay. All right. So you said B.
I will put it B. Probably bottom B, or maybe after Celebi.
If you want to put it there, we can put it there. But I just haven't seen it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. All right. Next movie is Zoroark. I haven't seen the next few, so it's gonna be you.
I'm gonna speed run through this. Zoroark, it's okay. It literally is okay. The story is okay. The villain is fine. The concept introducing Zoroark is cool. But it doesn't make sense why they bring back older legendaries into this film. I would put it like somewhere middle of the sea, probably below uh, below Giratina, above the Oxus, maybe.
Okay. I guess we can do this. That's fine. Okay. Next one we have black and white. So
That's two separate films, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell everyone what's going on in this one. This is one of the dumbest decisions Pokemon ever make. Yes, Pokemon split their video games into two. There is Pokemon like Diamond and Pearl, two different video games, version exclusive. As a game, sure, that works. And then they also have Black and White. Yeah, sure, as a game, maybe that works. They decided to make two different films. Same exact plot. They just substitute one Pokemon. In one film, they have Zekrom. In the other film, they have Reshiram. Everything is exactly the same. Ridiculous decision of Pokemon. I don't even know why. And like it's literally the same exact plot, just like they substitute the picture and they release it into two different films. And the story is pretty trash too. So yeah.
I wonder if Albert likes these. Can't really
No.
tell, honestly. He's keeping his cards close to the chest.
No. I'll tell you now, a lot of the upcoming ones, not the biggest fan of.
yeah, this is when Pokemon movies started going downhill.
Yeah, because they don't give a shit. They really don't give a shit about the plot anymore after these ones.
Where do you want to put this then?
Honestly, just because of the ridiculous decision of splitting into two, I want to punish them with like a D or an F.
We can go D. I feel like F is like for the worst of the worst,
Fair.
We can just like stick it right in the middle, these two.
Well, how are we
you
gonna
wanna-
decide? How are we gonna decide which one is higher, white or black?
That doesn't matter.
They're the same
I feel
film.
Like, I feel like with the Angry Birds movies too, I was just like this and this. They're like kind of
Okay.
conjoined.
Okay.
I don't think it matters too much.
They don't care about mythology after a lot of these, which suck because a lot of mythology still is good.
All right. Next one is Kiram versus the Sword of Justice. I think I'm the only one who's seen this one, right? Where,
I think I've seen it.
yeah, this is the one with Keldeo. He's like, the Sword of Justice. With
Yeah.
the Cobalion, Terrakion, Virizion. Like I think it's fine. It really doesn't do anything special. Like this is when I watched this in 2018. That was the first time I saw this movie, so it's just like the nostalgia isn't there anymore. I can but I think it's just like it's a cute movie, but like it doesn't really do anything. I think it's fine.
Mhm.
Albert, do you have any thoughts?
Pretty much everything you said.
I think it's definitely worse than Destiny Deoxys because I think also with nostalgia, I think that adds to
Yeah,
it.
I guess so. I don't remember too much of them. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We have Genesect and the Legend of the Awakened next.
Don't remember much of this one.
I
Which
haven't
one?
seen
Where the hell is the poster for this one? I'm trying to look at it.
Wait, not Genesect. Diancie. None of us have seen this. Never mind.
I haven't seen
it's-
Diancie.
Okay, I have. Yeah, this is another one where it's kind of similar to the Keldeo one, where it's just like it. I have a lot of the same thoughts. So it's just like it doesn't really do anything, but and I also am much older now, so I'll just put it here. I think I would put Keldeo Kiram that one above, but yeah.
Okay.
And then we got, is it Volcanion?
I haven't seen
And
Volcanion.
Mechanical Marvel.
I haven't seen that one.
Which I'm trying to remember the movie, but I don't. For the older ones, I have clearer thoughts about them because I like watched them as a kid with nostalgia, and then the new ones, it's just like they're so forgettable. At least this one's more forgettable than the other two, and I might even put it in D tier because it's just like, it doesn't do anything. I'll put it here with the other Pokemon movies.
Okay. Is there only one more Pokemon film?
I Choose You,
Okay.
which I think is just a movie version of the pilot.
That's right. Yep. Yeah.
So
Well,
just
not
watch
the not just the pilot, just like
well, it's just like the first few
pilot and
episodes
a
of
lot.
the TV
Yeah,
show,
a couple of few episodes.
right?
Yeah. In like better animation and everything, but some of the
Mhm.
stuff that they
But yeah,
did is like,
it's just the first few episodes of the TV show. If you want to
Mhm.
watch that, just watch the TV show. So,
Mhm.
um,
I think this film is known for one thing and one thing only, and this was the one that I was mixing up earlier. Pikachu talks in this film. Worst decision ever made. It was like they were like both dying because they got struck by lightning or whatever. And yes, Pikachu's like dying because struck by lightning, sure.
yeah,
And it was literally like, Pikachu, why don't you want to go back to the Pokeball? I need to protect you. And Pikachu's like, because I want to be with you. And I'm like, oh, fuck off. Why do you make him talk? Why? So yeah, It's-
I think it
it's a bad
ruins.
choice.
Yeah, where do you want to put this? I think we could go lower than C, honestly. Like,
I'm indifferent. Like I think
I think if
the film is fine until that point.
I think we can just put it at the bottom of the C. Honest, like I think
Mhm.
I don't think it's a D tier movie, but
Yeah, I think there's some heart to it.
okay. Yeah, it is still mostly the pilot. So all right, let's move on to Prince of Persia. Ash, let's go to you.
Man, it's like I've emerged out of a fugue state. Like
Hibernation.
you ever like go to sleep listening to music in your headphones and you wake up and there's just like weird thoughts running through your head that don't really belong to you? But like I've absorbed so much Pokemon knowledge just now. Okay, Prince of Persia. Yeah, I watched this movie as like a kid. I like vaguely remember it. There was one part that like I remember thinking it was kind of cool as a kid, and I'm pretty sure this is the only implementation of like the time travel sand in the movie, which is a weird for a movie based around a video game that is almost entirely about going back in time slightly. He like at the very end of the movie, he like breaks the hourglass and goes like all the way back to the beginning, and then he meets the princess that he's been like romantically involved with for the whole movie, and he gives her like something, and he's like, I look forward to our relationship or something like that. It's really weird. And I could be completely misremembering. No, I'm pretty sure that's more or less what happens. Very like unremarkable movie. I remember distinctly this is one of those movies where I was just around the age where I started not just automatically liking every movie I watched. And so I remember like watching this and being like, wow, I like did not enjoy that. Very boring, not terrible. Gemma Arterton's character in this reminds me a lot of her character in Clash of the Titans, in that she's just kind of there to like tell the main guy like what to do and eventually get kidnapped. So good for her, I guess. Yeah, very mediocre movie, like extremely mediocre.
All right, Andrew.
I ain't seen this shit. Well, I did. I don't remember it. I like rented it when it came out on DVD, and I was like 8.
Albert.
I've seen it. Thank God it's no longer eligible for Disney live action and fandom fights. Because yeah, this film is pretty bad. Everything Ashwin said is accurate. I don't play the games. I don't know anything about the games. I heard the game is revolutionary for the time, but yeah, no. In terms of the film, it's not very good with the time travel and everything as well. It's pretty boring, honestly. It's just boring. I think it's a perfect definition for it.
Yeah,
I think Ben Kingsley is in this one too, right?
he's the villain. Yeah, he's like the
Yeah.
evil vizier. Very unique concept.
Yeah.
Just like in Gandhi.
Yeah, he plays Gandhi in this as well.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah. Yeah. No, boring film.
Okay. I haven't seen it, but I've had the entire movie described to me before. So, but yeah, all right.
You basically seen it. Then you're not missing out.
Where do you want to put this on a tier list then?
Ooh.
high D, low C, right? Probably leaning towards high D, mostly because we have a ton of movies in C already. But
Probably, yeah. I think it's more well made than Monster Hunter.
yeah,
I don't know if that's even the right thing to say. Yeah, probably high D is fine.
I think as our D tiers right now, I would put it at the top of D tier.
Mhm. Okay.
Andrew, how you feel about that?
Dude, I don't know.
Okay. Well then, we'll move on and skip to Wreck-It Ralph first, since before we talk about the sequel. So
Okay, great. I was ready to shit on Ralph Breaks the Internet, but I love Wreck-It Ralph. Do I start?
Yeah, Andrew, go ahead. Since
Okay, this
we've
movie
been
rules.
mine, so we'll start with you.
Wreck-It Ralph is incredible. Just a great movie all around. Like, literally, just from a screenwriting perspective, like, it nails all the beats without feeling like incredibly formulaic, and it's like incredibly heartfelt. Really, really fun characters. Phenomenal voice acting. The casting was a good job. Like, I wouldn't have put Sarah Silverman as a little baby princess, or well, I might have cast John C. Reilly as Ralph, but like overall, I just love the movie. I used to have the villain thing memorized. Where, like, I'm a villain and that's okay. I don't know. I think it's a really, really good movie. And on this, relative to everything on this list, and this is actually S tier. I'm finding stuff that I actually like in video game movies right now.
Yeah. Ashwin?
Yeah, I mean, I pretty much agree with everything Andrew said. I like this movie a lot. Very like fun movie. I like the sort of relationship between what's his name, Fix It Felix. He's voiced by I can't remember the guy's name. He's really
Jack
good in 30
McBrayer.
Rock. Yeah, McBrayer.
Yeah.
I mean that's like perfect. And then Jane Lynch, like just a classic. The scene where they like briefly cut to her backstory, where like her husband is killed at her wedding day. It's so good. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. I don't think there's much more I could say about it. I don't remember it like super well, but I like remember enough about it, and I liked it.
Still the best movie featuring Sonic that I've seen.
I don't know if I would say
You haven't seen
featuring
Sonic 2
Sonic.
yet.
Featuring.
No.
Fair.
I mean, you haven't seen Sonic 2 yet. You don't know
I
how
haven't
great
seen Sonic 2 yet. That's correct. I did not spend money to see that in theaters.
But yeah, Wreck-It Ralph, I love this movie a lot. Yeah, when I was saying like I have a few S tiers, this is definitely one of them as well. I think is the idea of like, you know, you're seen as the bad guy, but like you know, you're not a bad guy, and just like that whole idea, and just like, you know, like loving yourself, and the whole message about that, I really like. I think the voice cast is perfect. Alan Tudyk as King Candy, and just like
Yeah.
great casting, and then also just like one of the better twist villains that Disney has made. So
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys said. It's in my top 15 of all Disney animated films of all time. Yeah, I think the whole concept is good. The whole world building. I think that's what really makes it. Well, if the world building sucks, it wouldn't really work this film. But I think it makes it works really well with the whole concept of everything and like the glitch, and it's a lot of fun. You guys have mentioned all the voice cast. Yeah, I think this film is just a great film, and I'm thankful it wasn't released in 2019, because we know what the credit song is gonna be if it's released in 2019.
I mean, the credit song is Owl City's "It's Always a Good Time."
Which is no
good time.
what?
No,
No.
Wait,
When will I? It's
Isn't
something.
it?
See
when
you
will
again.
I see you again? When
When
will I see you
again?
again? That's
It's
it.
not a good time.
yeah.
No, if it's 2019, it's gonna be Billie Eilish, Bad Guy. It's like it's
That's right, yeah.
100%
Yeah, like in
Yeah,
new hit DreamWorks film, The Bad Guys.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
and
like
great
Brightburn.
soundtrack, you know, great soundtrack with the Rihanna song too. Shut Up and Drive when they're in the
Oh,
mental,
dude.
vocal
Yeah, the
coach,
soundtrack hits.
yeah,
I'm a big fan.
Also, weirdly, I
Uh,
think the movie has now contributed to like a lot of people knowing the character Zangief. Like, I think Zangief is probably the most
Oh,
well-known Street Fighter character now, partially because of Wreck-It Ralph. So
I mean,
Who's
for you,
Yeah.
it's probably more, right?
I don't know. Like obviously, among people who know Street Fighter, they're gonna know a lot of
Yeah.
the characters. But I feel like if you just go around and ask people in the street, like, do you know who Ryu is? Like, could you name what franchise he's from? I don't think a lot of people could.
Fair. Maybe not. Yeah, I'm video
Yeah.
game brained, unfortunately.
Another thing
that's
I
fair.
really like about Wreck-It Ralph is that like they're instead of like basing it off of like already well-known like arcade games, they create like original games for the movie,
Mhm.
which is really cool. Yeah, like interesting character designs and all that. So I would put this at the top of S.
I agree.
What do we have it as right now?
Wait, how about that? You said?
S,
Top of
right?
S. Top of
Oh,
S.
I've got. A
Oh
top
yeah,
list,
yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think this is the best movie we talked about.
Yeah, this is like I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked at the entire list, but so far, this is the one movie that I would like confidently recommend to anyone.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
Now,
Now we would go to Ralph Breaks the Internet. It was like we were talking about Pokemon for so long. I was like, Andrew or Ashwin, if you guys want to start, go ahead.
Ashwin, take it away.
I mean, I've actually never seen this because I waited long enough to hear that it was bad, and so I didn't feel the need to see it. I was just curious to see because I've heard so many people say that it's like really bad, and I just don't know how. So I am curious to see what you guys say about it.
I don't. It's not. I don't think there's a lot to say about it. It's just like a movie that is built to try to reference old internet trends that are irrelevant, and like try to do like a commentary on what it's like to be an influencer. In a way, like that's one of the messages of the movie is that like Ralph does something and he becomes a viral hit, and then he sees all the mean comments
Just
and
funny.
he gets sad. It's like, come on, man. I guess that's maybe helpful to a very specific type of kid, like the ones whose parents milk them for YouTube money. But yeah, it's just not good. Like Gal Gadot as a voice actor is a hilarious choice. 'Cause already she struggles with that voice in live action.
I
And
didn't think
just
she was-
like
I didn't think she
acting in
was
general. I don't like it's just fine. Like it's just like it's just another case of like mainstream casting in order to try to bring stuff to your project when a like voice actor would do it a lot better.
Hmm.
And then at the end, dude, I like there's like a big like Ralph gets cloned or something, and it's like a bunch of evil clones of Ralph swarming the internet, and then they turn into one big Ralph, and it's bad. And I watched it with my little cousins, and I came out, and they were so excited about it, and I had to try to not be a dick, and I had to be like, "Yeah, guys, that was really fun."
You know what this is reminding me of?
What?
Reminds me of Free Guy.
Yeah, it's not great to me. Matthew, you can go ahead. We lost Alfred. He's stormed out.
I'll
because of
go.
our
I'll
Free Guy
go
comment.
next and say I actually do like this movie a lot. I think most like obviously like with Space Jam and like stuff like that, where like a lot of they bring in a lot of their IPs and stuff. I think Ralph Breaks the Internet does a pretty good job about it, and like I think it's fun to see like the Disney princesses.
It's like a Marvel, or it's like a Disney jerk off fest, dude. Oh my god!
But,
that
like,
whole
at least
scene
the
is just
movie,
look
like,
at all the
works.
products we have, guys.
Like the movie at least has a good story, and like it has the themes of like it's rare to see a movie about like toxic or just like friendships and like how like you can be like too dependent on them and like clean on that element. I think not a lot of movies feature that. I really like the message that it goes for, and then it's like the dynamic between Ralph and Penelope, like seeing that it's cool. I like to see that. But yeah, that's the big thing that made me like it a lot more.
Fair. Yeah,
I think the
go
new
ahead,
cast is also pretty fun too. But yeah, it's for me. It's
I
more
like
about
Bill
themes of
Hader,
friendship,
and they didn't give him enough screen time,
Right.
which was
Albert?
none because it was an animated movie.
Yeah, for me, I mean, definitely this one does not surpass the original. I think I don't have an issue with the whole concept of the internet and everything. I think the product placement is fine. I think the exploration of the internet is actually kind of fun in terms of some aspects and like some like meta jokes and everything. And by meta, I mean like self-aware, not like the actual Facebook. But yeah, I think there's also self-aware jokes that I think works in this one. I would agree with Matthew regarding the message of friendship if the third act was actually executed well. I
Yeah.
think this movie falls apart massively in the third act. Like the first two acts, I think were genuinely good, and then the third act, I think, is just like it's really weak. The virus thing that they did, and how it got resolved and everything is just like ridiculous. That it just sort of falls apart in terms of the story for me and the message of it all. So yeah, that's why it's not as good as the first one. But there are still redeeming factors in there, of course.
It's high, like, I mean, I guess I don't know where with all the Pokemon stuff, but it's C tier for me.
I would. I would put it like top of C tier or somewhere in B. I don't mind placing
put
it
it
in
in
either C or B.
A. So
Interesting.
So we
So
can
I think-
go bottomish of B. I don't, where you
Yes,
guys
we
just
go
said based on
in
Pokemon.
B.
But
Albert, how high do you
I'll defend Lara Croft Tomb Raider though. It shouldn't go.
Yeah,
Albert,
I mean,
where do you wanna-
I mean,
like where do you want? How far above the Pokemon movies do you want to put it?
oh, God, this is ridiculous. I would maybe I put it above Celebi. I'll put it below Arceus though.
Okay, because like since you've seen the Pokemon movies, I guess it's more
Yeah.
fair. I would put it in A. So obviously, that's why I asked you, Albert. But all right, Gal Gadot carries the movies. John C. O'Reilly, who?
Enough champagne to fill the internet.
That's a lot of champagne, dude. You probably couldn't do that.
I don't know, man. The internet's on like cables and stuff, right? Pretty small.
I mean, if they can do it based on the internet and based on Free Guy server space, is like.
Actually, a topical reference.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, Ratchet and Clank. Then let's go on to the next movie.
Is that just
And
me? Anybody else?
I
think
Yeah,
guess
that's-
you.
I think that's just
This one's a weird, unique case to any of these other ones, I think, in that they've released a game in tandem with it. It's a remake of the first game, like a semi-faithful, I think, remake. I played the first one, but it was so long ago, and then I played the new one. And literally, like, the cutscenes in the game take from the movie. Like, they take pieces of the movie and put them into the game as cutscenes.
Huh.
So for me, it's like kind of tied together with both of them because the game has like a longer story where you're actually fighting more and stuff. But then the movie's like a pretty fun kids movie. Like as a kids movie, I think it works. And they stick with like primarily like they didn't just kick all the traditional voice actors out to make room for Ratchet and Clank. They did get Paul Giamatti and a couple others. What's her name? She's like the night nurse in the Marvel movie. Rosario Dawson, I think's in there. Like they definitely do some celebrity stunt casting, but it's like not all, which is huge. Like they didn't kick out the primary voice actors mainly, so that's good. I would probably put it in B. Yeah, like A or B. I don't know. Every time I look at A, I'm like, well, maybe you could go there. But like not taking in the other movies we've placed, I think
I'll
I'd
put it there,
top
and then
B.
I don't know where if you want to put any higher. Because
I would probably put it top, but I don't know most of the movies in here.
I think we
definitely
just
put
trust
higher than
you on that. Like I think we just have to trust you. Like
I would honestly, and I don't know necessarily if we're gonna go back through this tier. The more I think about it, the more I kind of want to push for Mortal Kombat in this tier to go like bottom of A. but I don't feel
You
super
do you,
strongly about
baby.
it.
Yeah, I'm down.
Because I like the more I look at Mortal Kombat next to Lara Croft, Mortal Kombat is a lot better for sure.
Okay, that's fair.
And I think it like I could, if we put Ratchet and Clank at the top of B and move Mortal Kombat to the bottom of A below all the Pokemon movies, I think that seems reasonable to me.
I'm down. You guys okay with that? I
What do
mean,
you guys? Because I also don't mind just keeping it
it's
here.
beneath all the Pokemon, so it doesn't really affect anything.
Is this what you said? Okay.
No. He. I think we leave Ratchet and Clank top of
Oh,
B,
okay.
and Mortal
Okay.
Kombat goes to A. Yeah.
I see. I thought like you wanted me to move both of them up. Okay, got it.
No. That's fine.
All right. Well then, next movie to talk about is Ready Player One.
I was at the premiere of this movie with Steven Spielberg.
Were you
there
really?
with him?
Really?
It premiered at South by Southwest. It was the mystery movie.
Oh,
Wow.
TJ Miller was there. What an honor.
nice. Yeah. I can. Just,
I don't remember if TJ Miller was
Why,
there. I'll
why,
be
why,
honest.
why are you crying?
I think you would have remembered.
I
if he
know
was
Ty
there.
Sheridan and Ernest Klein were though. And Olivia Cook.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Olivia Cook. Olivia Cook is cool.
We stand Olivia Cook in this house.
Do we?
Well, you don't live with me, so.
Fair enough.
Somebody else take this one.
I can start and just say I have not read the book, so
Oh,
yes. Yeah, so I actually did like the movie because I have never read the book. I thought it was a fun adventure, but like also I haven't seen it since 2018, so I feel like I'm not the best judge. But I know for people who have read the book, it's generally seen as worse. So we'll see what Albert thinks.
Oh, I go next. I was literally because I made a review for this when it came out on my YouTube channel. I was curious what I thought back then, so I was in the middle of rewatching my own review, and I think I like it so far. Yeah, I mean,
You
yeah,
like
best,
your review or the movie?
like my like the movie based on the review. But just based on my personal memory, I think it works. It's not just a nostalgia fest because it could have been just a nostalgia fest, but it wasn't. I think lots of the visuals are great, and I agree with Andrew. Olivia Cook's great, and just the whole everything. It's just a lot of fun, really. But it's not like maybe it's the plot. It's just there's definitely issues with it. I just couldn't pinpoint the issues. I don't know. Yeah. I'll let someone else talk.
I could say some stuff about this. So it's funny. I watched this movie. I never read the book, but I've read snippets of it. Mostly
probably snippets making fun of it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's not. I do think it's strange for people to be like, oh, like the movie is so much worse than the book, or like there's Ready Player 2, right? Like people are like, oh, Ready Player 2 is so much worse than Ready Player 1. What are you talking about? It's like it's fine, it's for kids. It's just kind of like, wow, like, crazy adventure. Like, I think if I watched it like 3 years before when I actually watched it, I would have probably liked it. It would have been like right for me at that time. I honestly I have a lot of hatred for Ernest Klein that is sort of spilling over into my thoughts on the movie. I don't know if you've seen, he wrote this really just absolutely deranged poem about like nerd girls. I don't even.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yeah. It's something to see.
I don't remember any of it, but it was bad. I think
it's pretty egregious.
Yeah.
It's like just bordering on sort of an incelish type mentality. Which again is not that surprising. The movie does the classic bit of like, oh, I'm so like deformed, I'm so like hideous. And it's like, again,
a light scar.
Yeah, it's like a color mark, like a watermark. The movie's fine. I don't actually at the end of the day feel that strongly about the movie. I just hate Ernest Klein. That's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah,
we have some live comments just before we move on to Andrew.
Yeah, everything it cuts from the book. I've read the book. Everything it cuts from the book is necessary.
Uh-huh.
You can't make a movie without cutting stuff from the book. And anybody who goes into a movie being like, "This better not change anything," is like never going to be happy because it's not how it works. Which also applies to pretty much any video game movie. Like video game movies, the best thing they can do is adapt the tone. Because most video games are going to be like minimum like 6 hours.
That's
like
true.
any of the ones that get adapted, at least I should say. Love me some quick indie games, but yeah, I also don't feel strongly about this at all. Like I agree with Albert that it's not as much of a nostalgia fest as it could be. It is, I think, worth mentioning that it is still a nostalgia fest. It's just not entirely that, which is like how most people paint it. I don't know. It was fine. It was a fun theater experience when I was with people who were also like seeing it like that night. And the audio cut out, dude. It was like a Last Jedi moment when the shield generator explodes. 3 times in a row, they kept rewinding it and trying to get the audio to work. And it would like, and there would be the explosion, and then all the audio would be gone. And everybody thought it was a choice until they rewound it for the first time. And they like, but no, it was until somebody presses a button on a radio and it plays like "Take on Me" or some shit. I don't know. And everybody was like, wait, they just pushed a button on a radio and there's still no audio. Like, I feel like there should probably be something here. But yeah, no, it was like a fun theater experience that I didn't watch again. So I don't have like a lot of thoughts on it. Just like it was enjoyable at the time. The further away I got from it, the more I was like, yeah. But even when I walked out, my brother's been mad at me. Like he always like references this ever since. Because like Spielberg came on stage and he was like, "This is a movie, not a film," and I mentioned that in my review, and my brother was like, "Oh, what's the difference?" And I was like, "I don't know. I was quoting Spielberg. I think he's a fair person to quote here." But yeah, it's fine. Like it's if you're just going for entertainment, I think it works for that. So not as egregious as some of the other stuff we've gotten.
I want to add
Jam
something.
2.
Okay.
I finished watching myself in the review. My older self definitely liked this film more than my current self. So.
Yeah, I think it's one of those movies
Makes
where
sense.
the further you get from it, the more you're like, oh, I was just kind of feeling it in the moment, you know?
The main criticism that can be taken away from my review of that film, based on the review of that film that I just watched, is that the Oasis stuff is much cooler than the real world stuff, so that whenever it goes out of the Oasis stuff, it gets kind of stale.
Makes
Same with the book. The book is kind of like a heisty thing going on in the.
They are adapting the second book, though. I think.
Of course.
They are.
I believe
They
so.
get Spielberg again.
I don't know if they're doing. I don't know if it's Spielberg again, but I'm pretty sure I've heard somewhere
There's
that they're
no
doing.
way they get Spielberg again.
Probably not. I think.
I don't know. Maybe he just has a real passion for the source material.
Dude. That's why he said he took it in the first place.
You know
Spielberg
what?
It's
reading
so
Ready
funny,
Player One.
which is so funny because the book just constantly references old Spielberg stuff. So he's like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually."
You know who's a left field choice, but I think will work. Oh God, what's his name? I'm blanking. Travis Knight.
The guy who
He can
did,
bring the nostalgia
Bumblebee?
factor. Yeah, he can bring the nostalgia factor in there.
Maybe.
There's a lot of like ET vibes to Bumblebee, so he knows the Spielberg material.
Yeah, I guess I would put it. Like once again, looking at all this, I like it more than the Hitman movie.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Better than a lot of the
like higher in C or lower in B or something, probably.
Yeah.
I guess if I had to pick, I'd go B. And this is just to be so clear relative to everything else. I feel like I got to state that anytime I place anything.
I think B is good.
I just feel that it should be above Angry Birds, but below Tomb Raider. And I can speak to the Pokemon movies or
Yo, what a conversation this is. Where'd you want to, Albert?
Wait, where are you guys placing it?
I had it like
It's definitely
I guess
B
it's
I
below
already bottom, but yeah, somewhere in the bottom half of B.
I don't know where and be. I guess I probably like it more than Ralph Breaks the Internet, but
I
I don't
think
care.
I think it's a better movie than Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Yeah.
We can move it up then.
This film walks so Free Guy can run. You know.
But when does Free Guy run? I'm still waiting.
Dude, we gotta
Oh my
stop
god!
bringing up Free Guy.
Yeah, you set me up for that one. I can't be blamed.
Well played. Well played.
Colin says he wants Kenneth Branagh to do it.
Yeah,
Pretty
get
cool.
that guy in there. He's not doing anything lately, right?
That's a really good statement.
That is probably what it was missing. Is that it is. Well, you can't even say it's for kids, man, because all the references are like 80s and 90s.
It's for
And like,
everyone.
what
Reference
like
for everyone.
12-year-old kid is gonna be like, hell yeah, they're talking about Lady Hawk again? Oh my god.
I would really love to watch like a kid watch it who doesn't know about any of the stuff it's referencing, but enjoys it. It's just kind of like an action movie. Like,
Yeah. Admittedly, that's kind of how I approached the book because I didn't get raised on a lot of 80s and 90s culture. So
yeah, that's fair. Also, I could like again, I don't care that much about the placement of Ready Player One, but like, I could accept it being above Tomb Raider. You know, I could be convinced.
You do you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I don't know. What do you think about it in relation to Ratchet and Clank? That's your movie.
I like Ratchet and Clank more.
Okay, then we'll keep it where it is. Because I was like, if you were gonna say it should be better than Ratchet and Clank, then I'll fold and be like, yeah, okay, we can put it above Tomb Raider, you know. But
I do worry that I'm biased because like the game gives so much more context to all the events, and I played the game first. But
Cameron, the resident Kenneth Branagh fan in the group.
Kenneth, you a big Poirot guy? I guess you can't respond, right?
Oh my god!
I said that fully expecting like an audible response, but
All the Ready Player 2 by Kenneth Branagh is gonna be like all Dutch angles.
Yeah.
that's what he does with his franchises.
Oh,
Yeah, cool. If
right.
everybody's cool with that, we can. Or we're skipping Sonic 2 for now, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Do we
so
wanna
I
leave
think-
both
we
Sonics.
just skip both Sonic.
Fair.
them
yeah,
for
that makes sense.
And we'll move on to Spy Kids 3D. Game over.
Yeah, let's go.
I
love
have
this movie.
not seen this since I was a kid.
I have also not seen it since I was a kid, but I have it as 5 stars on Letterboxd because it's just that good.
I watched the Spy Kids movies so much when I was younger, like every other day
Uh,
for a
This is-
period.
This is the one I remember the most, but I have to accept that that's really just because I'm the guy who really became like a big meme in the last couple of years. But
Mr.
still
Duncan
remains.
Jones.
This is the one I remember the most.
Okay.
Albert?
Who's starting us here? Yeah, Albert, take it away.
Okay, so all of you guys have not seen it since you were kids, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah. okay.
I have not seen it when I was a kid. I saw it when I was an adult. I believe I'm looking based on this. The first time I saw this was February 13, 2020.
Wow.
Interesting.
So like 20.
I did not grow up with it. This is I watched it during the pandemic. I guess in
I
the beginning of the
respect
pandemic. Yeah, I thought it was still good. I'm trying to see my my Spy Kids rankings, but it's the 3D animation is distracting as hell. I think some of them it's just annoying. It just annoys you to the point. But yeah, there's a lot of memes like you said. I think Selena Gomez is in this, right?
That sounds about right.
Pretty sure it is. Elijah Wood is the one that you said. It's not as good as the second one. Stallone is an okay villain, but I believe there is like a Avengers Assemble moment at the very end with Steve Buscemi on the pig,
Yeah,
the yodeling kid from Walmart.
they did it better.
Yeah. That's all.
Does that leave me then?
Yeah.
Do I go next?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun, and I liked the effect of him grabbing the like one up or the jump boots or whatever they were. Thought that was really cool, and I thought Elijah Wood was awesome, even though I had never seen anything else, because he was the guy, and I thought that was super cool. And
cool.
Also, as an adult thought, very funny to just have a bunch of Stallones be the villain of the third Spy Kids movie. So a lot of respect to this one is what I'll say. Mind-blowing third dimensional effects when I first saw it as well.
Yeah,
That's
what's
all
the
I
deal
got.
with Stallone's
Is it-
character? Does he have twins or does he have clones?
It's
Clones,
probably
right?
clones, right? I
Okay.
imagine.
Clones.
Because
But like they're all like super different personalities.
yeah, I remember him talking to them, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think maybe it's like his different. He makes different avatars of himself. I don't remember.
He separates the parts of his personality.
Yes, the different characters. Dude, honestly, this film would have been better if it wasn't for the 3D. The 3D stuff was just like doesn't
Well,
doesn't
there.
age
I
well. at
loved that when
all.
I was a kid, man. It
It
worked
doesn't
for me.
age well at all, bro. Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it, but right now I don't think that.
Yeah.
think the 3D
Yeah,
stuff
when
is
I go back and rewatch Spy Kid 3D with my paper 3D glasses, you're gonna regret saying that.
yeah.
Okay. Do it.
I love the era of 3D where they had like a studio mandate that something must fly at your face every 20 minutes. Just to
I remember
remind you.
There's like gears that like fly out in the audience, and there's one where there's like a fist that's like, whoa.
Oh, that I remember. Yeah. So silly.
Hey, it had an impression on me, right?
Mm.
I mean, anything can at that age. As soon as you gain permanent object permanence, some of that shit sticks. But Matthew, anything for you?
I mean, true.
No, I don't really have anything to say. It's a great movie from
Obviously.
I remember.
Great is a stretch.
So I think I have to put it in S tier.
Oh, dude, even as
Oh
a kid,
bloody hell!
I'm like, Albert, where would you place this?
Where would I place it? Woo, this is interesting. It's maybe okay. So this is like the second worst Spy Kids film after the fourth one, which no one
Four
talked
of
about.
them.
No,
I know.
no.
Yeah, no, it's 2, 1, 3, 4.
It's 3 first at the top.
Dude, the third one, I like the first two. The third one just doesn't. I would put this maybe.
Is Antonio?
I don't know.
Banderas in this?
It's either C or D because like I think it's better than Prince of. Well, I don't want to say it's better than Prince of Persia, but I definitely enjoy it more than Prince of Persia.
Yeah.
So somewhere in C probably. I don't. The C is a Pokemon Fest. I couldn't even like split it. I couldn't place it, and I couldn't figure out where to place it.
Yeah, 'cause why did you not just do it Pokemon Real Ranks?
I do think C is kind of the tier where we put a lot of the movies that are like fine movies for kids and also the
Yeah.
Hitman movie.
No.
Bro, I'm showing that to my kid as soon as he turns 2. He needs to know what the real world is like. Yeah, I mean, I'll wait a bit.
Yeah, 1-year-olds that they can't
It's a
handle
bit
it.
too much for them, I think. A little intense when the dude gets sucked into the engine, but
Yeah, I could see I would put it bottom of C, I think. That's kind of where I'm at.
dude, I don't know if I can place it. I wanna put it above Ready Player One. Just realistically, that's where my heart leads me.
I would put it here.
So-
between Mortal Kombat and Jumanji.
Where?
Dude, Emojimaji.
So
Oh, between Mortal Kombat and Jumanji. I mean, I'm fine with that because it's still below the movies that I really care about the placements of, other than the older Mortal Kombat movies. So.
I don't have a. I
This-
can't weigh in.
this is
If I had
wild.
like B, C, A,
Okay.
S, probably
It's-
somewhere.
Just name all the
Spy Kids 3D crawled, so Ready Player One can walk, and so Free Guy can run. Okay, that's the
Howard,
progression.
don't do this again.
That's a progression of events.
No, this is smart because I'm not going to make the same joke again. You know.
No,
so-
yeah, you know what?
Yeah, you gotta come up with a better one.
I don't have anything.
Yeah, listen.
Not
if this
not
was
enough
Shark Boy and
chatting.
Lava Girl we were
Just place
talking
it.
about, I would be rooting for that S tier. But Spy Kids 3D, you know.
I'll let you guys decide.
I think we balance it out and put it in C.
Yeah, makes sense. Where in
Top
C are
of
you
C.
thinking?
Top
Top
of
of
C,
C.
motherfucker.
I'm fine with top of C. That works
Unless
for me, yeah.
Andrew, you want to chime in and place it like a little higher and like, 'cause, like
If
I
I
think,
put it S, where does it end up?
I think we would have to put it at least B then.
Well, listen, if you guys are both going to say yes, then I'll just succumb to peer pressure and also say yes. Then where do we end
Okay,
up
so
putting
3
it?
S's and a C.
No, I do think we should just put this
Dude,
in
we're
like
two-
top of C.
Yeah,
I-
I'm fine with top of C.
Do it.
We're 2 hours 20 minutes talking about video game movies. I think I'm like starting to lose it a little bit.
You've
Even
been
with
losing
the
it since the
half-hour
past.
intermission for
You've
me.
lost it like an hour ago, Andrew.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is what happens when you talk about video game movies, I guess. And then you know, when we're on Spy Kids 3D,
Okay.
you know.
I want to watch Street Fighter so bad. It looks so fun.
That's true. That's true, Cole. That 100% true.
What did Cole say?
I don't even know if the timeline lines up.
Spy Kids
but
3D
makes
walks
sense
the
to me.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl sprint.
Fly, even, I would say.
I didn't saw that film till 2 years ago. Last
Okay.
year? I don't know.
Well, we'll move on to Street Fighter and
I
Feels
want to
like
watch
this-
it so bad. I think it's just Ashman, right?
Haven't
Yeah,
seen
it's
it.
just me. This is like a really perplexing film because
Perplexing.
the general plot of the Street Fighter games is fundamentally similar to the plot of the Mortal Kombat games in that it only exists to facilitate a tournament, right? But in Street Fighter, usually it's even simpler. It's just like there is a tournament, and that's it. And so,
Yeah.
like, there's not much that and again, I'm sure the later Street Fighter games have some. Like, I know there's stuff with Ryu and the Dark Ryu and whatever, but who really cares?
That's just
Um,
crazy. I read about it once and I was like, okay, sure.
I have two friends who are like big Street Fighter enthusiasts, so I've like played the game a little bit, and so I kind of know about the lore. It's a shame, not to sidebar for too long, but it's a shame that none of us have watched the Tekken movie because I do know about Tekken lore. But anyways, Street Fighter. So there's not that much to work with, and so the movie just kind of makes stuff up, and it's like Guile is like leading an army, which, again, I think purely based on the way he dresses in the games, he might be like a general or a colonel or whatever.
Is that the guy Raul Julia plays?
No, Raul Julia plays the villain, M. Bison.
Oh, he plays Bison. Yeah.
Yeah. I love Raul Julia as M. Bison. I mean, again, this is not a controversial
The
opinion.
Tuesday quote.
Yeah, yeah, and then
That goes so hard.
yeah, I never would have thought that originated from the Street Fighter movie.
I know, I
that's actually
learned it.
from that.
I learned that because I was watching Cosmonaut Variety Hours like video watching this movie. And
Yeah.
they said that line. And I was like, that's from this?
Like, I think it before I knew that I'd seen it attributed to M. Bison, but I figured it was like not from the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, so like the plot itself in the movie is like fairly just meh, and it doesn't really have that Mortal Kombat factor where like the characters you're working with are like fire ninjas and
Yeah.
people with 4 arms, so that doesn't really carry the sort of fairly boring plot.
Isn't Blanca boring as shit? Like they give his origin in it.
Yeah, and like part of it is I don't think they like imagine Blanca with like 94 CGI
Yeah.
on the budget of a shitty video game movie. It's not going to be pretty. Yeah, I this movie isn't great. If every character put the same amount of like the spirit into their performance as Raul Julia did, it would probably be a lot better.
Yeah.
But
that makes
I
sense.
can't really remember a single other performance in any sort of notable way. Kind of similar to the second Mortal Kombat movie. So I would probably put it just around there.
Damn. Wow, okay. I'm very inclined to watch that one. But you said around like Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yeah, like somewhere in D, probably on the lower end. Because it doesn't have like say if you compare it to Monster Hunter, they're both like equally sort of boring and nonsensical, but it doesn't have the production value, I guess.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
I did not know that was a thing.
Yeah.
Street Fighter the movie, the game.
Yeah, they made that.
Street Fighter.
Well, they had to release Street Fighter 2 40 times already, so they had to find a new game to release.
This is true.
That is a great concept right there. More studios should do that. Blank the movie, the game.
I agree.
They
Think about it.
do
We could have
that,
a
it's just
Sonic.
not always based on a video game movie. They made the Lego movie the game.
Oh, true. I guess that's kind of inherently.
Makes sense. All right.
What's next? Oh, Tomb Raider. Okay, I gotta
Tomb
be
Raider.
honest. I listed Albert.
What?
I listed this. No, sorry. I listed this because I watched a part of it and then fell asleep during a climactic scene, and I wanted to talk about that. So you actually watched the whole thing, Ashwin?
Yeah, I watched it. I mean, I watched it on a plane, but I did
Okay.
watch the whole thing. I was conscious for the whole thing.
There you go.
Um,
I fell asleep during the
What a compliment! I'm conscious of the whole thing.
So I guess I should say I think this movie's like solid. It reminds me. I feel like okay. It reminds me of what my friend said about Uncharted because again I haven't seen Uncharted, but in the sense that it is like good, but it's still fundamentally an adaptation of a video game, which not to knock on video games, but it kind of limits its ability to be like an amazing movie. I don't know. I think it's cool. Like Lara Croft, she has this epic thing where in the beginning of the movie she's like bike racing through London or wherever. Like I kind of dig it. And then the guy who plays the villain, his name I'm not pulling it, but
Because isn't it Walton Goggins?
yeah,
Well,
that's it. That's right. That's right.
He's my hero.
Yeah, I love that guy. He's good in this. Pretty epic. Yeah, I like the movie. I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's like super memorable. Like the end sort of climax is based around like a set piece that is just fundamentally not that interesting. It's like some ancient mummy curse type thing, whatever. But that is just what the Tomb Raider games are generally about, right? So I don't think that's necessarily a huge knock on the movie. I think it can go in like A tier, like low A tier. If I don't remember off the top of my head what we have, if you want to scroll up, I could probably place it with more precision in A tier.
Yeah.
I love Walton Goggins, and I wish I had been awake for the parts where he was in it.
So how much of it did you sleep through then? Because you've seen quite a lot of it.
I slept through part of it, and then I woke up and saw that it was still on and turned it off and went to bed.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Probably didn't even go to bed. Probably just watched a different movie, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's a good placement. Bottom of A.
I marked it as watched on Letterboxd today because I wanted to be able to pull off the seat.
Yeah, I agree with Cole. It's like I can't remember super well, but it's not that I can't remember in the sense that it was like boring. It's just that nothing about it was. I don't know what I would even say about it. Like it was just kind of solid. Good plane watch, honestly. Good watch on a plane.
That does influence things.
The long neck poster. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
that's all I have
then
to say on
let's
this.
move on then.
I like
We'll go
Vikander.
to
Yeah.
The original Tron.
Wait, I saw Tomb Raider.
Oh,
Oh, you
saw
did?
Tomb Raider?
Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Wait, okay, we thought it was just asking.
Fuck
Okay,
up,
okay,
you
okay.
guys didn't acknowledge that.
Unbelievable.
yeah.
I mean, where did you guys place it? I'll just chime in on that.
I just said bottom of A because I'm the only other person who's fully seen it. I guess Andrew saw part of it.
Andrew's brought out that he likes it.
Bottom of A is fine for me. I think probably Ready Player One is better, but I think that's fine. I thought Alicia Vikander was good in the role. She's really ripped for this role. I thought the action was great. Well, not great. I think the action is good. Some of the cinematography is good. Roar Utag, the director, I had really high hopes for this not because of the video games. I don't care for the games. I never play the games. There is a Norwegian film that he directed called The Wave, which was fantastic. And I was like, okay, this guy's directing Tomb Raider. Cool. But I thought the directing was fine. I think there's pacing issues with the film. Which made it like sort of like you get bored at times. But as a whole, I think it's a pretty solid film.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now let's move on to Tron. Albert,
Original Tron.
the original Tron. Yeah.
I think the original Tron does not hold up. Dong, what hold up? I think this is one of them. Okay, Andrew.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't think it.
Sorry.
I don't think it hold up. I think the story have some merits to it. I think Jeff Bridges is pretty okay in it. Like the whole story is probably like revolutionary at the time, and maybe it looks cool at the time. But watching it now, it's very jarring. I feel like I have epilepsy watching it just because of the flashing lights and everything, and just looks really, really bad in terms of the CGI and the special effects that it took me out of the whole film. So yeah,
Right.
not the biggest
Andrew?
fan of it.
I think if going into an old movie and being like, these effects are bad in comparison to today's effects, and therefore I cannot accept the movie as it once was, is a bad way to watch those old movies, man. I watched this when I was like 12 and then when I was like 20. And I enjoyed it both times. Thought it was a fun film in context, right? Like, I think you do need to enter some of these with the right context. So on my end, enjoyed it a good bit. Albert, you're a dumb bitch. And
Thank you.
Yeah. I love you, Albert.
Again, I appreciate that at the time that might look good, but watching it now, it's so jarring that it really takes me out through the whole film. It just ruins the experience for me. So
Okay.
You're
Ashton, how do
supposed
you
to call me a dumb bitch.
no, I think I'm good.
You've already done it once. Okay.
Yeah, once is good.
Ashton, you got any thoughts?
Well, interestingly enough, I have not seen this movie. But I did watch Tron Legacy.
Okay.
So, and the best part is I know this now. I watched Tron Legacy when it came out, 2010. So I was like 9, and I didn't even consider that it was a sequel to any movie. I was like, yes, this makes sense, which I think is kind of funny in retrospect. But yeah, never seen Tron.
Albert,
You don't have to watch
Andrew,
it.
what do you guys want to rate it?
I'd put it in.
You put it at A.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's better than everything in there, but Jumanji the next level for me.
I would put it at C. Because
Okay,
I
so
think
we put it-
I think Ready Player One is better. I think Rough and Threads is better.
Okay, so I think we definitely put it in B then, just because it's averages out.
Yeah.
But where in B?
Top of B sounds good.
And Albert.
I mean, I'm fine putting it in the middle of B, but if Andrew wants top
Okay,
of B,
so if we average that
that's
out,
fine.
So the
No, we
real
can-
battle is, do we put this right in front of or right behind Ready Player One, right? That's what it comes down to.
I want it ahead of Ready Player One.
That's fine.
Okay.
All my takes have been like trashed today, including the
Cole-
live
Cole
chat.
said,
I'm
Tron's
like,
stupid.
I don't give a shit anymore.
What the fuck? Who would say like that to a friend, Cole?
Cole just doesn't like my takes.
Albert, you and I usually agree on stuff. It turns out video game movies is where we really clash.
Very divisive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
Very divisive.
Friendships are broken.
All right, let's move on to Tron Legacy, and let's start with Ashwin since you mentioned that you had seen this one.
So here's my thing. I like this movie when I watched as a kid. I thought it was epic. Again, I watched it when I was 9, so take that with a grain of salt. However, and when right before we did this, I was like, I know there's at least a couple movies on here that I watched when I was like 10, so let me just go back and remind myself of them. I remember now there's a major character in Tron Legacy, and I genuinely don't know who this character is in Tron. I don't think so. That is named Quora, like the website. And Quora is one of my favorite websites of all time. So that elevates the movie for me. No, I think Tron Legacy is kind of cool. I don't know. This is purely based on my memories as a kid. It's like there's some kooky characters in it. Yeah, I'm really not super qualified to comment on it, but I liked it, I think.
I know.
I've never heard anyone said Quora is their favorite website until you just said.
I love Quora. We should do a different real rank about Quora. Just go through Quora. Look at
Websites, real
Quora
rank.
posts.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god.
Cameron said, "Friendship's broken, just like your kneecaps." Okay, so Albert and I have both talked about Tron Legacy on a different episode.
We have?
Yeah, plots and sequels 10 years later.
That makes
Oh.
sense.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, if you, I don't really have a lot of thoughts about it because I'll just say the same thing I said in that episode. I watched this one back when it came out at like a bed and breakfast, and I haven't seen it since.
Bed and breakfast. Okay.
Yeah, I watched it with
Yeah,
my friend, not knowing there was a original, there was a sequel. So yeah.
Yeah, I saw this in 2020 right after I saw Tron. This is probably around the same time when I watched Spy Kids 3D. I don't know. I think sometime around then. But yeah, I think visually it's cool. Music is great. Daft Punk, right? Everyone knows that. I think the direction could be better. And like, I just because I don't care for the world, I just don't really care for the story that much. So like outside of visuals, nothing is really that special for me in this film.
Okay, Andrew.
Oh, I don't have anything to weigh in on here. I saw it in theaters and I don't remember any of it, but the Daft Punk soundtrack is good.
Okay, so who? I guess Albert's the most qualified to put this on a tier, and then we can kind of just figure it
He
out.
did say I
Why-
don't care for the world, and then
I don't care for the world building in that film.
Albert be watching After
Yes?
Yang and say, I don't know about this world, I don't care.
What is After Yang?
Okay. It was just like the most recent movie that I wanted to see that came to mind. I haven't even
It's my
seen
most
it.
anticipated movie. Currently.
Okay.
I was just trying to do like an Albert.
Sci-fi drama. Cool. Haley Lou Richardson's in it. That's cool.
Well, yeah, she worked with Kogonada in Columbus, so
What's going on?
I don't know, man. I'm so done.
Wait, I get to decide where
You go
it
first.
goes?
Like more or less.
Oh, okay. Well, I liked it better than Tron. I would probably put it high B. Or maybe even low A. I think it's pretty on par with Tomb Raider, maybe.
Andrew, how do you feel about that for someone who only watched
care, man.
Ashwin?
Put it wherever you want.
Yeah, I mean, comparing it to Tomb Raider makes sense to me at least. I have sort of, I mean, I watched this when I was 10, so, you know, it's not the same, but kind of similar. I remember them aesthetically more so than anything else.
Did you want to put it above then or below?
What do you think, Albert? You've also seen Tomb Raider, right?
Oh, man. Maybe above.
Yeah, works for me.
At
Well,
least
then,
they're
all right,
more.
well-
At least they're more creative, having to world build and everything. Tomb Raider set it in the bloody forest in London.
In London? They said it in London. That was a forgetting.
Colin, you say Albert have bad taste. You like Ghost Story, okay? So calm down.
Bro, Ghost Story is S tier. Ghost Story is better than every movie we've mentioned today.
Calm down, everyone. You guys are, I think you guys are tired, So you're
I love a
Ghost
Ghost
Story.
Story. I would like to thank Colin for having me watch that movie. Talking about Uncharted now.
Yeah, I was going to say. I tried it time.
Any other Uncharted fans in the group chat?
I can text
No,
my
I
friend
haven't
right
seen
now.
it.
He's a big Uncharted fan. He saw it like opening weekend.
What did you
That's what he
think?
thought. I checked in with him and he was like, yeah, it was like fine, as good as he
Yeah.
expected.
Yeah, that's about where I landed. I hated it for about 30 minutes, maybe 45. Just despised every second. And then I was like, you know what? Kind of like it. It's kind of fun. I'm just being a little like biased, little source material bitch. Adventure wise, it does all right. There's like 2 scenes that I liked a lot because I was like, this totally captures the essence of everything. Like really cool stuff. A couple other scenes where I was like, this is good. Like it's got the right idea, and I think it's kind of working. And then it takes from like every game from the original 4. Nothing from Lost Legacy or Golden Abyss, but like it's good. It's a fine movie. Which on this tier list puts it pretty high. So I think I gave it like 5 or 6 out of 10. And so for me, that puts it an A.
I went back to see what my friend specifically said about it. So he said, yeah, nothing special. And then he said, and I think this is funny, obviously it's not close to National Treasure, which is interesting because
it's a fair comparison
at all. But yeah, it makes sense.
It's funny because Uncharted was first accused of ripping off Tomb Raider, and then eventually Tomb Raider ripped off Uncharted when they had their reboot. And so it's funny to compare those two as movies here as well.
Mhm.
But I would say nobody else saw it.
I saw it.
I think.
Oh, hit it, Albert.
I fresh out of the theater, I liked it. I liked it quite a bit. The more I sit on it, the more it just gets kind of stale in terms of my opinion. Like I think the adventure aspect is fun. I think the chemistry between Holland and Wahlberg is okay.
Yeah,
it's like I'm kind of mixed opinions on
Between
that.
him and Chloe, I think is fine, but with him and Wahlberg, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, like again, I think the adventure part is fun, but like everything else, it's lacking a lot of substance. I think like a lot of the parts that I wish they did, like I guess comparing it to National Treasure, I wish they did more of the problem solving for like the mystery, but like whenever it gets interesting and Uncharted in terms of like the breaking down of problem solving, they did a montage and like just fast forward like okay, now they go to the adventure part. So I'm like, oh, that sucks. Because I sort of
wanted to see them on the plane in coach.
in what?
Wait, what? Wait, you don't want a travel montage?
No. They did a montage when they're like problem solving the puzzles and everything. Like they skipped the whole problem solving
with
part.
some of them, yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I was hoping a lot more like a puzzle stuff, but they skipped through it. But yeah, I mean, it's okay. It's not bad. It's just okay.
Okay. Well then, tier this.
It's A. I mean, it's A for me. Like in this list, I definitely like it more than Ratchet and Clank and Tron and Ready Player One and Ralph Breaks the Internet.
I like it more than Tron, but I like it less than Ready Player One. So that's confusing with this.
What a conundrum we are in.
yeah. Wait, only 2 of us have seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Okay, this is tough.
Let's get
Andrew,
Matt
what do we do?
Carnahan in here. Matt,
Why?
let me add Matt real quick. It's not letting me for some reason.
It's lower, I think.
Okay, if we're comparing adventure movie to adventure movie between this and Tomb Raider,
I love that instead of holding the jet.
I think it's on par really. I would put Tomb Raider slightly higher, but if Andrew want to put it in A, then that's fine with me.
I could go high B.
All right, so where are you guys compromising then? Just I guess for like.
Are you
Low-
comfortable with the fact that we're all
Yeah.
shitting on Ralph Breaks the Internet and Ready Player One? And therefore, Ready Player One's just going to be lower than a lot of stuff you agree with. You disagree with.
Oh,
That's happened like
I've accepted.
Yeah,
that fact.
that's happened like 4 times now.
That's
You've been like,
that's
"Well, I
fine.
like Ready Player One
I've
more."
accepted that fact. We can go with like high B or low A.
Yeah, I'm cool.
I'm
with that.
indifferent.
Matthew, place it. Just place it, Matthew.
Okay, well.
Close your
since,
eyes. Close your eyes and place it. Yeah.
It's gonna end up in like D.
A and B are even now, so all right.
Yeah,
let's,
that's a good, actually good reason.
even it out.
let's go to Warcraft now. I think
Oh god, I should do the 3 after this, like by myself.
Ashwin, you're the only one who's seen this.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, so this
Andrew
movie's
has not
kind
seen
of
this?
No, I didn't see this.
okay. It is just me, right?
Mhm, mhm.
This movie's interesting. So, like, funny thing is, I guess I never played World of Warcraft. However, I have played a lot of Hearthstone, which make of that what you will. That's
Yeah,
like why that's why I know about Warcraft lore, and I also like I've done some other YouTube video watching on it. So going into it, I knew like a decent amount. Not like a really comprehensive knowledge of it though, because there's obviously a lot of it. There's Warcraft and then World of Warcraft, but despite the movie being called Warcraft, it's really more. Well, I actually don't know. I couldn't confidently say. Anyways, my point is, I think the big failing in this movie really is just that inherently the events that it's covering are just not that interesting, in the grand scheme of like all the Warcraft lore that they have available to them. And I understand why they did it, because like if you're going to do a starting point, this is the most logical place to start. Introduce the conflict between the humans and the orcs, and Gul'dan being like a major player. But for what it is, it's like decent execution. I think it looks pretty good at the end of the day. Like if you look at any, if you look at any World of Warcraft gameplay, for sure this is the case. Even like the sort of cutscenes and cinematics they have, it's never like that visually insane. So I think it looks good enough. But yeah, really, I think just fundamentally, it's just a relatively boring part of the Warcraft lore. It's like pretty straightforward. It's like the humans versus the orcs invading, but some of them are good. So it's fine. In terms of rating, probably like low B, high C, I would say. Definitely not anywhere above the bottom of B. Wait, there's a Hearthstone club? That's insane. New expansion for Hearthstone came out today. It's actually pretty good. Anyways, not the point. Yeah, I don't know. Low B, high C. Again, that's basically saying somewhere in the middle of all these Pokemon movies. So
Yeah.
that's kind of where I'm at.
Okay. So we want to just fill up the B tier a little bit more. We can just do that. But
Yeah, I was gonna say,
if you feel better, if you want to put it in C, we can do that too.
C tier is looking a little chunky already. I think it makes sense in B.
Okay.
It's like it reminds me of the Mortal Kombat movie, but I think I would have liked it similarly to the Mortal Kombat movie if just it was about more interesting events. So
Okay.
I think it's a good spot for it.
All right, then let's go on to War Games.
Is that
And
anybody,
that's your cue.
That's
has
just
anybody seen the next 3 movies?
No.
Oh,
I
I've seen
have-
the Injustice movie. I can actually have a decent
Okay.
answer about that.
Cool. War Games, good. Big fan. War Games. Matthew Broderick, fun, good, cool, cheesy ending, enjoyable. War Games, I am a fan of.
So,
Best review I've ever heard.
all right. What do you want to put it in the tier list then, Andrew?
I said I was gonna put it S earlier. Let's scroll up a bit and see if I stand by that. Once again, I just don't like anything in A. So yeah, that works for me.
Do you want to put above or below Jumanji?
Probably I'd put it below Jumanji, I guess, just like in favor of respecting others and not trying to trump anything too much. It's just a good movie that wasn't like as you can see with a 3 out of 4 of our S's now. Not trying to adapt a video game, but rather making a movie that involves video games seems to be a better method for better movies.
That's why Free Guy is in our A
like,
tier.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah. And that's what I was also referencing. And Tron Legacy. Yeah.
Colin says War Games is pretty solid. He would
Yeah.
a B plus. But probably not with
B plus on this tier list. Yeah. Just like a solid film. Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Okay. Well, then we'll move on to Injustice, and we got a special guest to talk a little bit about this movie. We got Cole Sanders.
I hate it. It's terrible.
Cole
It's awful.
is correct.
Where did we-
Let me be clear.
Wait, yeah.
The Injustice comics are incredible, written by Tom Taylor. Super
Yeah.
fun, fucking
Mhm.
dope.
Yeah.
They, for the movie, chose to adapt a worse version of the game, essentially, with a couple elements from the comics.
Well,
from it.
yeah, they like condensed 5 years of comics into like the first.
Yeah, well, they
Or, like,
also they
yeah.
cut a ton of shit from the comics, and then they add in brand new stuff,
Yeah,
like for
It's-
no reason.
they switch characters. People die in
The
the
climactic
movie.
battle of the Amazo thing, which is the origin of the Red Lantern Cat in Injustice 2.
Yeah,
Like,
It's such. Yeah, and if you want to
Why?
get down to it, they basically don't even do the plot of the Injustice game. So if you think of it as a game adaptation, it really doesn't do it very
well, no, because it
barely,
ends with the same
barely,
ending, essentially.
barely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like it's there just to be like, hey, we know this is technically from the game, and like the setup is kind of is both from the comic.
The
and the
setup's
game,
the
so-
same because
Right.
they just adapted the setup of the game for the comics.
Yeah.
but-
So for those parts, I guess it's okay, but I hate the animation style here. I think it's although it kind of works for the tone that they set of the movie. I am not a fan of it.
Dude, when Superman comes in at the end, like the new, different Superman, and he just
Yeah.
has a way better outfit than the one you've been seeing the whole movie.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, that outfit's way cooler.
Who would have thought?
Yeah.
The cool guy versus the dictator guy.
Yeah.
You know.
The
Um,
dictator guy should have a cooler suit. Any dictator should have better drip than an average
Not-
citizen.
Not gonna put a stance on that one. But hey, besides the fact that I can't even get behind most of this, where everything is in this list. But if I had to put it somewhere, it would be like maybe D, mid D, I guess.
Yeah, it's weird to me because I feel like it's again a situation where if they had just portrayed the events of the game Injustice without changing anything, it would have been fine, right? Like
Yeah,
the events of Injustice are what? Like so all the setup to how
it's corny. It's another Realm game.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly, right? And it's half the story of the game is again it's that classic thing where like one Batman is like, we should do this, and the other Batman is like, we should do this. And then they fight, and then he's like, you've convinced me
Yeah.
with your fists.
Yeah,
But
Pretty much.
it's still like the concept of like you bring in the guys from another universe, and then they fight their counterparts or whatever. It's kind of epic, I don't know why did they have to kill the Flash? I still don't get that.
I don't get that.
Dude,
Either. It
No
changes the
sense.
motivation,
dude. And then they have to have Cyborg like teleport people out of Arkham Asylum, which is a role for the Flash in the comics and the game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because I think they referenced that in Injustice 2.
And then they just give Mr. Terrific the conversation with Superman, but instead
Oh my
of there
God,
being
they-
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
the,
I forgot
the
about
chess
that.
scene, right? But it makes no sense because in the movie, it's like Mr. Terrific just says, Superman, I disagree with everything you're doing. And Superman says, okay, I'm putting you in jail. And that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas, with the Flash, it's like, he's conflicted. There's like some interesting stuff
Is
there.
that-
The Flash's story in the comics is so good.
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say,
agree.
is that chess scene from the comics or also in the
Yeah,
game?
that's in the
It's
comics.
just from the comics.
It's
Okay.
in the comics, but
Yeah.
the more inherently epic thing about it in the comics is that they are playing chess at super speed, which Mr.
Right.
Terrific notably cannot do.
No, he's terrific, but he do not have super speed.
And they do that classic thing where you're having an argument and playing chess, and
I thought
the-
it was the
the
Flash
chess
that
game-
had that conversation with him over chess, right?
That's what I'm
They just
saying.
use
In-
it- yeah.
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
Flash has the conversation with Superman, and they're playing like multiple games, and the Flash makes like 5 points in a row, and he checkmates
Yeah.
him 5 times in a row. Like,
yeah, that's what it is. Instead of just being like check.
yeah.
Okay, I counted the check. Like he's beating him, which better emphasizes the point.
Mhm.
Plus, they absolutely robbed the Green Arrow scene of all emotion.
Oh my god, I
That
forgot
scene,
about that.
that scene in the books
and the
like,
the
and-
Nightwing scene. We're being
yeah.
honest.
Well, I mean,
The Nightwing
Injustice
scene.
2 robs the Nightwing scene of any emotion.
Yeah.
definitely. But
I mean, yeah.
they just make it like a quick thing. They were like, no, we don't need any more women, so they cut Ma Kent. I don't know, dude.
In the movie where like Deadman Nightwing shows up and like trolls Cyborg,
Oh
and then Cyborg's like, "What's and then he's
nothing-
like flies away.
That takes like 2 years of comics to get to that point, and then they're like, "Nah, we're just gonna do it like after."
And they don't give Plastic Man the heroic moment where he like tries.
Oh, yeah.
He's like trying to sacrifice himself for his son because
Yeah.
he just doesn't want to admit fault, and then his son's like, "Don't be a fucking idiot," and he leaves, and it's a great moment.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh, dude.
It's so weird.
Um,
So
Anyways,
And-
I promise I'd be brief. So if you guys have thoughts, but I'm gonna shut up. It would
I
be
was-
mid D.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd put it around the same because I still
Yeah.
don't think it's worse than Pixels, most likely. But
oh, for sure, it's not an F by any means.
So
Mid D seems reasonable. It's
Higher
just
than-
so
I can't,
weird.
I can't speak on any of these Pokemon movies,
Yeah.
so
yeah, me neither.
So-
doesn't really
I don't know if
matter.
you were watching at
Just-
that
just
point,
like a
but-
null in the,
Ashwin and I sat here for 35 minutes.
It wasn't 35 minutes.
It was.
I came
I
back-
think 35 was generous.
Oh no, I came back after like 45 minutes. I think I'm pretty sure I timed that. So,
Well, there was like 20 films and we run through it. So
Yeah,
No,
it is
I
20
respect it.
movies, and
I
so we
respect
try to.
so all right, I've done my bit. Thank you.
Have you seen
Alright.
the Super Mario Bros. Movie? Because I think
Enjoy.
I'm the only one here to talk about that. Okay.
He's gone.
All right. Well,
I'm conflicted about the Super Mario Bros. Movie because it's a fun watch at this point. It's so goofy bad that like really bad, both in adaptation and general film craft. That it has become entertaining in a way. I mean, have you guys seen any screen grabs from this movie, like what Goombas look like,
Yes.
or like
Yeah.
what Bowser looks
Yes.
like? Yeah.
horrifying.
It's crazy, dude.
It's mind-boggling.
Love Bob Hoskins. Honestly, good casting. Like with someone, Hoskins could make it work. Just the script is rough, and then the direction from that point. So yeah, like I don't know. My buddy loved this movie. Ironically, when he was like 8, he was the first friend that I had that ironically enjoyed movies. And so he made me watch it then, and we watched it like 4 times. So I haven't seen it like super recently, but I'm pretty familiar with it. So I guess I feel like most people would put it F, but I kind of think like the so bad it's good enjoyment aspect brings it a bit higher for me.
yeah, that's fair.
So for me,
then-
like C or D, I guess. Like I still don't want to put it too high. I mean, I want to say yes, obviously, but I don't know. Throw it like. Do you guys? I don't know. Like Prince of Persia was.
My instinct would be that mid D is probably about right. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah, that's fair.
like maybe right below.
I'd put it above.
Injustice or-
I'd put it above Injustice because Injustice made me mad.
Yeah, that's
Like,
fair.
even the voice acting, I was like, what? Like, who's directing this? Like, why do they sound like that? Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't have gotten one better take than that. But yeah, cool. I'm cool with that. All right, we're at the best ones.
Yeah, the
Oh.
best ones: Sonic the Hedgehog and Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I guess I can just start with Sonic since I haven't seen the last few. And yeah, I was completely surprised that like Sonic was good. Like, you know, when the first trailer came out, no one was expecting the movie that we got. I think I have to give a lot of props to the designers and just like the people who had to redesign Sonic. Just yeah, that takes a lot of effort, so I had to give them props. And I think it looks good. Like there's a lot of heart with the movie as well, and I think it's just like a very easy watch. I think I played Sonic when I was younger, but haven't since. So it's like I feel like as a kid I would have enjoyed it a lot more having actually played the games. But I think Ben Schwartz does a good job of capturing Sonic with his voice acting. You know, James Marsden is solid. He has this thing with like animated CGI creatures, and then Jim Carrey just like hams it up as Dr. Robotnik. So I think it's just like
I'm glad. Yeah.
yeah, it's a fun Carrey performance. So like I enjoyed it. All right, Albert.
Yeah, I liked it a lot too. I think this was Did I watch this in theaters or did I not? I don't actually remember. But yeah, this was like around. This came out around the pandemic when the pandemic was about to start up, right?
Yeah.
This
It
might
was like-
actually be.
No, it was almost the last movie I watched before the pandemic. I watched
Yeah.
the Portrait of a Lady on Fire when I was back home before it started.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, it was sometime then, and it does. It also surprised me with that it wasn't Garbage Fire. I mean, because of the trends of video game movies with bigger IPs and everything. But yeah, I mean, we bullied the studio and the visual effects artist to change the design, and I think it works out for the best. Even
Shout
though
out
the
to those
visual effects artist,
Yeah, who
I know,
probably
right?
had to do a lot of extra work for very little.
I know.
pay.
80-hour weeks.
yeah, it's insane. But yeah, I mean, they like a lot of the things that we said. They just took the concept of Sonic. Didn't really. I mean, they took characters. They took the concept, but they took liberties with the story and just tried to make it work with the world. And I mean, initially thinking like, oh, bring Sonic to the main human world don't know if that really works. But I mean, with this one plus the sequel, I think they're starting to establish that universe, and I think it's working out for the best.
all right, Andrew.
Yeah, that was super. I don't want to contradict Albert again, man. I thought it was boring. It was all right. Like they had a lot of actors I really like in it, and like Carrie's having fun, and I like that in Pally. Although like he's better in series than movies. I think like, he feels like a little bit out of place in movies sometimes.
I think he has a bigger role in the second one. but
Okay.
Who are we talking about?
Adam Pally,
Wade in the movies. He's the guy who's
Oh,
the
that character is stupid.
cop. Yeah, he's good in like
So
happy
disappointing.
endings and like Champagne Ale and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I was with Mitchell when I watched it. I was just like, man, that was forgettable. Like, just like not a lot for me to hold on to. Like even immediately after I'd finished it. Yeah, and dude, they love Olive Garden, that movie.
they do.
They cannot get enough
They
of those
made
endless
fun
phrases.
of it in the sequel, and I
They
love
do
it.
make fun of it. in the
Really?
sequel. Yeah.
That's
They're
funny.
self-aware of the Olive Garden jokes that they make.
You know,
fun of it.
you know what else is self-aware about product placement? Jurassic World. So, you know, remember when they go, the Indominus
know what you
Rex is sponsored by Verizon
By
Wireless? It's like,
Verizon.
that's cool, man. That's a really good joke. Do you want to show me 18 more shots of a GMC truck? You can't always just joke those away, but it might work in the second movie. Yeah, it's fine. I like Ben Schwartz a lot. And he's a good pick for the voice. I think if they had let him improvise straight up, he could have done better. But
Yeah, I think for me, I guess I'm probably somewhere between Albert and Andrew and how much I like the movie. Like, okay, actually, I want to preface what I was about to say with something that is like not super important, but I think kind of funny. About the Sonic like VFX redesign, I think it was objectively a good choice. He looks a lot better. However, I do not appreciate how in the aftermath of the Sonic VFX design, there were so many insufferable people being like, "Oh, okay, this is a thing we can do now. We're just going to start doing this with plenty of other things." It's just not how it works. But you know, it's not actually a knock on the movie, just kind of a funny thing that happened. With the rest of the movie itself, yeah, I think like, you know, I can remember scenes from it that I thought were like entertaining enough. You know, they go to the bar and they do this sort of slow motion, you know, Quicksilver thing, bar fight, and it's like I'm not going to be that guy who's like, oh wow, they already did this in the X-Men movies because A, like, you know, whatever.
Yeah,
And
originally, Over the Hedge, I think, was the first time, right?
Yeah, exactly. Everyone
There you
else
go.
is just ripping it off, and it's just a very Sonic thing. So I don't like. I think that was just a good choice. You know, I agree. I like Ben Schwartz as the voice. I think Jim Carrey, like, by far, if Jim Carrey wasn't playing Robotnik, I think I would be currently trashing this movie. I was watching an interview with him, and he seems like he was pushing for the crazy mustache and the fat suit from like day one which I think is pretty great.
That's fun.
Seems like he actually likes the character, which is interesting. I kept picturing Jim Carrey playing like Sonic games, but
Yeah.
it seems like he has some kind of knowledge. I think, yeah, he has a lot of fun in the role. Like, I mean, I love Jim Carrey. I think he's like just genuinely funny as Robotnik. I have something else about him that I'll say when we get to the second movie, even though I haven't seen it. Yeah, it's fine. You know, I think I really do think Jim Carrey makes the movie like it probably moves him up like in terms of this tier list 2 tiers for me at least. But I do. That's not to say that I think Ben Schwartz is definitely good as Sonic. You know, he has that right like almost annoying nature to his voice. And yeah, James Marsden, you know, not that his performance is like anything special or anything, but yeah, he's just kind of funny as the normal guy. You know, you gotta have one of
Good
those.
normal guy. Big James
exactly.
Marsden is a normal guy.
Yeah, solid movie. It was kind of like the Lego movie in that I did not expect to enjoy it nearly as much as I did, but it is not nearly as good as the Lego movie. Just to be clear.
Yeah, I think I could agree with that.
I think I would put this in B tier. I think it's like
That sort of
I have a lot
intuitively makes
of
sense.
so.
I'm comfortable with that for sure.
Yeah.
Once
might
again,
even-
I'll shit on a movie and then be like, well, relatively
Yeah.
still B.
I'll put it like lower on the lower end of the B tier.
I'm thinking high B tier, right? Like
I would put it here
fair.
at least.
it has to be above, and
Like-
maybe this is my fault. It has to be above the Angelina Jolie Tomb
Bro,
Raider.
the amount of times we've said
Maybe
that,
it is your fault.
I feel like we should move Tomb Raider down, probably.
Yeah. That's reasonable. Move Tomb Raider down like bottom of B. I think that's fair because a lot of the reason why I put it so high, I think what happened was that
I mean,
I
it was
put Tomb Raider
early.
in B when there was nothing else there.
Yeah, there's like
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
everything else
yeah.
just kind of went underneath it. So, yeah. But I do still think Sonic should be a high B tier. It is just good.
Um,
It's also from every
yeah,
genre.
Andrew, how do you feel about it being there in B?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
You're cool with it? Okay. Then we'll move on to.
I'm
Sonic.
done.
We'll move on to Sonic 2. Albert, you can start us off, and then Andrew and Ashwin haven't seen it, so
Spoilers or no spoilers?
they said they didn't care about
I don't
spoilers. So
Yeah,
we can go into details. Yeah.
I'll start off right off the bat saying that I think this is a better film, just because I think they have more of an identity of what they want to do with the franchise as a whole. Because I think the first one is still very much experimental. They're sort of scared of like, oh, could this character work with like mixing it into the real world kind of thing, and like making him like I guess like an alien in a sense. And I think in this sequel they really know. They have a sense of direction, and they're like embracing that. Okay, yeah, this is a weird ass hedgehog alien creature that can run super fast. I'll just build upon that. They went even more ham with Robotnik. They introduced Tails. They introduced Knuckles, as you see in the trailer. And I think Tails could be better. They sort of make Tails sort of like a plot. What's the word for it? Like sort of like a plot device in a way. For the whole film.
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, and Knuckles definitely better. Idris Elba voiced Knuckles amazingly. Knuckles is pretty much like Drax from the Guardians film. I cannot unsee that.
He's
now.
the fish out of water, right? He's like an alien from another world who doesn't know what Earth is. So,
And he takes everything literally. So like that's
Yeah.
why I said it's like literal like Drax. But yeah, I think that's great. I think literally Jim Carrey outdoes himself in the sequel. I think it's he steals the show. Also, in a weird way, talking about the animation again, I think in that first one they were like still navigating the line between okay, should we fully adapt the design of Sonic from the video games into this movie version? So, and even though they did a pretty good job of it, I don't think it's like a fully one-to-one adaptation. And I can't help but notice in this one, Tails and Knuckles is like a legitimate full one-to-one adaptation in terms of the design. And they look much better than Sonic, in my opinion. I don't know if you agree with me, but they just look They
do
look better.
really nice. Yeah. They do
Yeah,
have good
so-
designs. So
yeah, especially around in the facial features and everything. And yeah, I think the story is a lot more fun. There's a lot more adventure to it. Just like a story of Sonic and Tails on the adventure. I think it does like all the stuff with the main three animals. I'm just gonna call them animals. The three animals plus Jim Carrey's Robotnik. Everything with those characters are great. I think they struggle with what they want to do with the human characters, with James Marsden and his
Yeah, with James
fiance, and then the cousin and the
And we can
police
spoil the whole
officer.
wedding plot if you because like
Yeah, there is a wedding plot subplot that I thought was like okay, it's okay, but I think that's like they in my opinion they don't know what to do with it, and like whenever they cut to that scenes, it's sort of like okay, just bring me back to Sonic. I want to see what Sonic and Tails is up to. So
yeah, it's a little bit awkward when they do those scenes. But also, I think Jim Carrey's henchman. I think I think anytime he does anything, it's really funny. Yeah, with the whole coffee thing that the designs.
yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting because I remember at least in the first movie, I enjoyed his character, and it's like one of those characters that could easily just be annoying, right? But
Yeah, exactly. Like he
Yeah,
could be annoying,
he's a
but
great
I think I think he has more to do in the second one, and he's really
Okay.
funny,
Mhm.
right, Albert? It's been a
There
while
is
since I've
one.
seen the first,
I think
but-
there is a part. The scene that make me laugh the most in the film involves that henchman, Jim Carrey's henchman, and a particular coffee cup with
yeah,
a
the
customer.
coffee cup, exactly. Yeah.
There's a particular scene that really laughed the hardest in the film.
Yeah.
That particular scene.
Okay. So I don't know if any of you guys have seen Sonic X. It's like an animated TV show with the Sonic characters.
brother.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a show that I grew up on, and so I
Sonic
just
X.
I've seen clips of it.
okay.
I have not.
But I really like how this movie kind of just expands on the lore of Sonic too. Like they introduced the Chaos Gems, right? Chaos Emeralds. That
Mhm.
is the main thing that they're going after, and so
Mhm.
It's cool that they're like adding that to the movie because I feel like the first one they didn't really do anything with like Sonic lore besides just like
Mhm.
having the characters. So
Mhm.
this was cool to see. I think Colleen O'Shaughnessy is pretty great as the voice actor for Tails. Yeah, I think she's been doing.
Yeah, she's
been
like the
voicing-
classic one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like she's been voicing him for a while, so like you can't go around with that. And Idris Elba he's great as Knuckles.
Mhm.
And yeah, I feel like I don't have a whole lot more to say because like Albert has said everything that I thought about it. I agree with like the whole human stuff as well. I think like it's just everything in Hawaii is like definitely feels a little bit weird, but yeah, I do like that. There's more here. I like it more than the first one. Do we want to talk about the end credits too?
What if
I mean,
the
there's not much on the. I mean, you want to say the end credits?
I mean, can I guess what happens in the
Yeah,
end
you can
credits?
guess and we won't say anything, but yeah, let's hear.
Well, I don't even care if it is spoiled. I feel like it has to be Shadow, right? Like, I mean, probably not.
Does he
but-
shoot someone?
He pulls out the gun.
If he
That'd
doesn't
be amazing.
pull out the blicky first second you see Sonic.
Is
take
there
one
wait?
face
Is there
forward.
is there a Shadow meme with a gun or something?
No,
Dude,
literally the
there's a
Shadow
game.
game is about him shooting people with a gun. Mostly robots, but you know, it's pretty.
But
great.
you can
I
choose to be a
didn't know
bad
that.
guy and just murder soldiers. Too.
Shadow the
It's like one of those
Hedgehog.
games you get to choose to be good or bad.
If you look up Shadow the Hedgehog game, I bet you.
Yeah,
on the cover
I'm
he's,
looking at it
holding
right
a
now.
gun.
He goes,
Yeah.
damn it.
Oh
It was the
my
first
God.
time I heard a swear word was Sonic the Hedgehog. Damn it.
Sonic
Well,
3 is R-rated just because Shadow swears all the time.
Matthew, are we gonna
He's like
confirm or
super
deny? Are we gonna
misogynistic.
confirm or
He
deny or
just
not?
keeps calling women like bitches.
I think we even
Yeah, that's classic Shadow.
yeah we can just confirm.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, he shows up in the final.
It is
end
Shadow?
credits.
Okay,
Oh
I
my
figured.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like we got
it's the
we
logical-
uncover Project Shadow or something like
Yeah.
that.
It's great. I'm
A
excited
kid-
for the sequel.
A kid in my theater literally, like when Shadow appears, just like yelled out on like the top of his lungs, "Shadow!" And I'm like,
Oh.
"Oh, okay,
That's
Yeah.
kind of great. That's pretty great.
that's
There,
great."
there's
Yeah, I
like
know.
Love
kids
that
in my
for him.
theater as well.
I
I
gotta
think
find
it
a
was-
pirated scene of this.
it was fun to see like the kids' reactions to Sonic on screen. It's like when Alan Kim was like talking about his favorite actor, he was like, "Sonic is my favorite actor." It is adorable. I think some of you guys might remember that.
Is
And
that
then
the kid from
Minari.
Minari? Yeah, that's what I was trying to
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Also, I wanna
Please God, give me a picture of movie Shadow.
I wanna add something real quick. I didn't play the traditional Sonic game that much. I know Sonic very much because of the Mario Sonic Olympic Games. That's where I know most of the characters. But also aside from that, I play a game on the PS2 called Sonic Riders Zero Gravity,
Yeah.
and that is
Oh yeah, I
a
like
like
that too. Yeah, yeah.
That
that's
game
like a
was super fun.
hoverboard game, and that is cool AF.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there is a scene in this film which I don't know if it's a reference to this, but it makes me think of it, and I just have like nostalgia rush.
I mean, like it's in the trailers, right, where he's snowboarding.
Yeah. That.
So
I saw
Yeah,
that.
he snowboards, and I was like, oh, this is so.
Yeah, that was a Sonic Riders reference. That is fun.
That game is the best. I want to play that.
That was super fun. Yeah, I played a lot of Sonic when I was younger.
Can you imagine if for the post-credit scene, instead of like Shadow, which makes sense, they brought in like Jet from Sonic Riders? Or,
Dude,
like,
that's exactly what I'm talking about. I was like, I hope they bring in all of his friends that have never been in a single good Sonic game besides the board one.
Blaze, Amy.
I don't know what.
Cameron,
Amy as the post-credit scene would be fantastic.
Cameron, you should watch the Sonic movies. Yeah, they're great. Sonic 2 is better than the first one. So
Yeah, just the
It
Sonic
is.
movies. Oh, where does it go then?
I would put this in A tier.
I think it's probably on par with like Detective Pikachu, maybe slightly lower.
We can call.
You think it's higher than Detective Pikachu or lower?
No. I think it's lower. I would put it here, maybe.
That's fine. Yeah, again, I think not the full plot fully works, but yeah, I think for the most part it does work.
'Cause I think because I have stronger nostalgia with the Pokemon movie, but
That's fair. That's fair. Also, yeah, they really went Power Rangers at the end, so I'll just say that well, maybe that spoils something. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
There's a lot of things you can take away from that statement, so I think it's pretty spoiler free.
Okay, so I guess this finalizes our tier list. I'm not gonna sum it up because this is a long one. Yeah, but yeah. Do you guys have any final thoughts?
Oh, I do actually have a final thought. I actually came into this video intending to say this at some point, so I want to make sure I say this. Right before I had to come here to film this, I went in, I got dinner, right? And I was walking back from the dining hall, and I was just thinking about, like, this was kind of in the back of my mind, and I came to this eureka moment realization. If they made a Jetpack Joyride movie, it would destroy the cinema. I would watch it 10 times. I can't, like, it would be so good. The plot is a guy shows up to a facility with a jetpack and flies through it, shooting scientists and blowing up, like, stuff. I don't know. Like, I would. You're telling me you wouldn't watch a Jetpack Joyride movie? That would be the best movie ever made. The jetpack. They could literally play the Jetpack Joyride theme through the entire thing.
It's a time loop movie, and it's also just like shot in 2D, and it's just, and also it's just somebody playing Jetpack Joyride. Get Spielberg to play, and we'll see as he learns and gets better. You know?
But can you imagine,
before we can.
You were talking about the Doom first-person shooter scene. This would be like that. Like people would talk about it for centuries. You know, the Jetpack Joyride, like 2D, like cross-section scene. I don't know what to call it.
I mean, I feel like before we do that, we need like a Fruit Ninja film. You know,
that would also be good. That would also be good.
Candy Crush film, a Temple Run film, where the main character runs throughout the whole film nonstop. You know,
I
the film ends when the character stopped.
Didn't like Nigahiga do a Candy Crush thing, right? Like for the trailer,
probably. Like a Candy Crush movie trailer. That's like vaguely familiar.
He did that. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that all the time. Minesweeper the movie and shit.
Pet Society the movie.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we got some solid video game adaptations, and Cameron saying Matt standing by for the Temple Run movie. Very true. Very true.
That'd be amazing.
Yes. Well, all right. I guess if that's it, then we will see you in a few weeks because we are gonna because we're having our finals and stuff. We might not have any real ranks immediately, but we will send announcements and stuff. So then I think there was a comment somewhere, but I can't remember about like possible real ranked coming up.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I was gonna bring this up. When are we doing a Jimmy Stewart real ranked where we all talk like him? Maybe we will if fill in the suggestion form and I'll keep it in.
What
mind.
about Christopher? I can't do any of this. Man. Thank you guys for being here. I'm just trying to slowly push this thing towards the door so I can shoot it in the back of the head.
But yeah, that sums up our video game tier list. And we will see you guys later.
Yeah.